Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Afternoon. Okay, because it's after 12 o'clock here in Eastern Daylight Time. My name is Reina Creole, and welcome to my channel. This, of course, is the Resort Recon Live podcast. This is my theme park podcast that I have in studio to accompany all the stroll and chill live streams that I do out in the parks here in Orlando. So we welcome all of your questions, comments, insights, all of that, because you guys out there in the chat are my co-hosts for this show. In addition to my panel of usual theme park aficionado suspects, I like to call them, we keep it real on this channel. We want to make sure that you have the information that you need in order to make the decisions that are right for you and yours. So there's no agenda on this channel except for giving you the raw information that's out there and making sure that you guys are not only informed, but helping you save some time and money and sanity as well. So much to talk about on the show today. Of course, we've got more announcements from Universal Orlando for Halloween Horror Nights. And if you're a pass holder, you may have blinked and missed it, but reservation availability had gone out for the annual pass holder appreciation night at Universal Orlando. If you missed it, don't feel bad, because it's like, boom, it blinked and it was there. But we're going to talk about that and how you could possibly try to still get in there as well for that particular night. And we've got plenty of Disney news as well. And also peppered in there is 4th of July tips. Visiting Florida for the 4th of July. It is a rite of passage for a lot of people. I know for me, living in suburban Philadelphia, that was the thing. 4th of July, guess what? You're down there at Disney. But guess what? So is everybody else. And it is the most insane time to visit. Well, second most insane time to visit the Orlando theme parks. Christmas holidays, that's when it's really, really crazy. 4th of July is second crazy. But you know what? We've got tips and tricks to help keep you sane, especially when it comes to the security checkpoints. So we're going to be talking about that. All right, let's see. I'm going to bring in my panel real quick. So excited about all the folks that I have on. I love them to death. Before I bring them on, do me a favor, please do hit that like button. Over here on YouTube, please do heart this stream over there on X. So we have got Erica from Hang with Erica and Ruff. We have got Sam Wolf, Life of a Military Wife, and we have got Tom F. How you guys doing?
We're good.
I'm here. I'm awake.
I love the ears.
I know.
They are mighty pretty, aren't they?
They are so pretty, the pass holder ears. And you just reminded me that I left my my 4th of July patriotic Tommy Hilfiger looking mini ears in my car, because yeah, and they only made them
Fancy.
1 year, and that was it. I mean, it's not like Tommy Hilfiger branded, but the way that it looked, because it's got like patriotic Mickey with, his shorts that look like the American flag, and it's like it's white, it's like it's leather, and it looks so nice and classic. They only made it 1 year. Haven't made it since.
Of course.
We need some Haunted Mansion ones for obvious reasons.
Oh yes, those are gorgeous.
Yeah. I just don't know what style.
Big Tom's just shaking his head.
Hey,
sorry, you have to deal with us girlies.
No, you missed it, Sam. I actually have a hat that I took a pair of my wife's ears and put them on, and I had Lorena cracking up a couple weeks ago.
It was funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
Probably more comfortable. I'd imagine more comfortable to wear them that way, because even the cushioned bands start to dig into my head right
on
here.
the hat, you don't feel the ears at all.
Hurts. Yeah, I know. With a hat, it's probably easier.
I want to say, I was looking behind me, but usually
I'll do a Valiant thing.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Renegade hat? What?
I have my own. I've had that beforehand. I've had it for years.
You need the grumpy hat.
I have
Oh, that'd be good.
We need that one. It was a
I'll be
really
right back.
good one. It went because I look at like the hats that they have out there in the parks, and some of them are so darn funny. It's just like you have to pick them up. They're so cool. But folks, let me welcome you guys here in the chat. Let's see who we've got before we get started. We've got, of course, Tim is in the chat. One of my amazing wrenches. He's in the chat. Phil Metzger, hello. The heck are the ats still plaguing up the chat? Yes. If you guys are you guys seeing the ats on YouTube side?
Yeah, it's showing up everyone's actual YouTube proper names, not just like our like nicknames, if
Mm-hmm.
like shortened
Yeah.
nicknames like before. It,
I know I'm
is
not a huge
YouTube
fan.
changing things?
Oh my
Yeah, I'm not
gosh.
either because we're used to seeing our
Yeah.
guests in their shortened names.
Mm-hmm. I
Well,
think
mine's the same, but I did that on purpose. So
oh well,
it's just harder to read.
I think it's a software push. Somebody did not check something before they pushed it on the YouTube side. And that's probably why what happened. He's got the hat. Dag on it. I was joking, but he's got the
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
I like that.
I love the hat.
Yeah, it fits my
I'm fond
personality.
of Dopey though. Dopey has a fond place in my heart because my mom was an elementary art teacher, and one of the first paintings she ever did for us, for like kids to hang up in the house, was Dopey. And so that just reminds me of my mama.
Oh.
I get called dopey too much to do it, and grumpy, so I lean towards grumpy.
Grumpy has the best t-shirts in the
Grumpy
park,
does.
along with Donald Duck. Like I've had it, and he's just freaking out and like flipping out.
I have a few grumpy shirts, and I have a pissed off Mickey shirt. He looks like he's like angry, and people stop me all the time. Like, where did you get that? It's like the annoyed Mickey dad shirt.
Oh, that's awesome.
Annoyed Mickey dad shirt.
I like that one. Oh, let's see who else we've got. We've got DJ Knight in the chat as well. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. We've got Linda. Hello. Tom's other better half. Good seeing you. And let's see.
Mhm.
Phil says, I'm not a songwriter nor talented, but leaving a comment on Ron Bradley's live show yesterday, inspired by the destruction of rivers of America, and a dismal song from the 80s. Yes, I will tell you that if you want to ride the Liberty Bell, you're going to have to do it before the 7th. And if you are a lower level pass holder, you're SOL, because you can't even get into the park over the July 4th weekend. Yeah, they blocked the majority of them out. So my pass level, I can get in. Camera Girl can't get in with hers. Yeah, and last year I couldn't get in on the 4th of July. I got in on the 3rd, which I always go on the 3rd anyway because the 4th is absolutely in freaking sane at the Magic Kingdom, so I don't go over there on the 4th. But yeah, I was blocked out last year. This year I was like, oh, really? I can get in? That's kind of strange. In for the whole entire weekend. But I
So
think if you're
weird.
below sorcerer level, because I have the sorcerer pass, if you're below that,
Yeah,
you can't get in.
I do not
Mm.
like how they name
Huh.
these. It's too
But yet
confusing.
the attendance isn't even like what it used to be.
Nope.
The parks
La-
are not packed. The hotels aren't packed in
Nope.
Oh, yeah.
bookings like they used to be. So they act like, oh, they act like they're so busy and they have to do all these restrictions to control the crowd. And it's like, what crowd?
Every time I go, you guys see it when I live
Oh, yeah.
stream. I'm looking around. It's just like, what happened?
Where's all the people?
Yeah, where's all the people? Remember back in the day, 4th of July, it's like you're crowd surfing because there's so many people in the Magic Kingdom. Remember the shutdowns that would happen? But just like, nope, Magic Kingdom's full.
2017, we went.
Yeah.
We were sold to the show. Me and Linda, it took us a good 30 minutes just to get from what you call the pit just to Main Street. It was insane leaving. And that was 4th of July.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have a friend who's planning a trip, and she's like, "Do I need a lightning lane pass?" I'm like, "Honey, no. Everything's a walk-on. Don't get a lightning lane.
Don't.
Don't get that."
Don't.
Oh, Universal, maybe.
I hate getting up early. I do, and it sucks, but you got to do it. It's like you get up early enough, you get there early enough to Magic Kingdom. Nah, you don't need one. That in addition to the crowd levels, you will be perfectly fine, just like Sam was saying.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure you plan what it is that, that you don't want to do. Don't get there and then ask cast members what you should do first. It's too late.
They're not gonna know.
It's too late. Yeah, you're right. They're not gonna know, like, I don't know. And then they might kick you over to guest services, but still. But that's what we're here for. We're here to let you know stuff like that and how to get around those ticks and trips. There's Erica waving. She's in the chat. She needs a pink wrench. We got to get her a pink wrench. And let's see, where's Keely? Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good to see you, Keely. Good seeing you. We've got BR Geist in the chat, another park regular. Says, hi, Lorena. Hi, everyone. Good seeing you. And Sam's in the chat, of course, waving to everybody. And Juliet is here, my dear, from all the way over there across the pond. Says, good evening, Lorena and chat. Did I mention the Brits are back in town? And I don't mean the ones that just are in town to visit the parks. Like where I live, it's a very, very interesting mix. There's several people from out of the country and snowbirds that have houses, and you can tell who they are in Target because they stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, there's a community there in Orlando that's just made up of Brits. Like they live, and it's like a
Yes.
little city from what is like a section of Orlando for people that live seasonally or maybe even full time in Florida.
Usually there's like pockets in Dr. Phillips and Winter Park and like near where Ron and I live, specifically where I live. And you can tell that they're regulars from living there talking about they know where everything is. They're excited to go to Target, and then they're going to go to Publix to load up on fried chicken and all that other stuff. It's so funny. It's like you hear a British accent and they talk like they know exactly what they're talking about, which they do. And you're to Target and they're just pulling everything like off the shelf. Like, okay, what do we need? We need this. We need that. It's hilarious to go and see.
Smart shoppers, because that's what we do too. Hit up Target for those raincoats and those Miss fans. Do not buy them in the parks.
Do not buy them in the parks. As a matter of fact, I have to do a vlog because there's a difference between the neighborhood Targets and Walmarts and the tourist Targets and Walmarts. You walk in, it's like, I can't believe I'm seeing this stuff. Like the one Walmart that's near I want to say there's one that's near Universal. There's like two, but the one near Universal, you go there, as soon as you walk in, there is nothing but theme park merchandise. And one of the cutest things and practical things, especially if you have little girls, okay, they have like the little tank dresses themed to the Disney princesses, and I think they're only like $20, and they're so cute. Like you don't mind if they wet, they're not going to get overheated or anything like that. That Harry Potter, all of that stuff. You don't get that in the Walmart in Palatka, okay? You only get it there. But yeah, that's like one of the things to do.
Weirdly enough, though, the military commissary, like the Walmart right here by the military base where we're at, it has all that stuff too. So I'm not sure why it's around the military bases, because I noticed it's not at the other ones, but it's by the military bases.
Huh.
Now I want to go visit the Walmart closest to McDill just to see. Or
maybe it's just the bases where I'm at. Wait, Tom?
Just to push hey, go visit these parks. We know you're thinking about it.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
And you do pay less. I mean, when you're talking, Walmart has like the best if you just want to get like t-shirts, mugs, the standard stuff, ponchos, all that. It's way, way, way cheaper. And if you're not in the US, another place to get that stuff is, I'm probably saying it wrong. You folks from across the pond can correct me. Primark. The Primark that's
Oh
here in
gosh.
Orlando near the Florida
Yes.
Mall that they just built.
Oh, yeah. They got good Disney swag.
and
Really good.
great and great prices on that stuff too. It's insane how the stuff that's there. So you don't have to. Again, that's another trick. You don't have to get a lot of the stuff in the park. If you go to like Primark, if you go to Walmart, if you go to, well, not so much Target near where you live, but Walmart. But especially if you go to a Five Below, you
Oh
can
yeah.
get a bunch of stuff Disney themed for cheap. The light up bands, which are great keeping track of your kids and stuff like that. Super, 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 super cheap. BR Guy says, as an Orlando native, I've typically stayed far away from the parks on the 4th, but I'm feeling like braving it this year, and I'm waffling between Universal and Walt Disney World, especially because of Jaws 50 and Rivers of America.
Ooh.
Magic Kingdom is going to be slammed. Universal, and again, it depends on if you want to see Rivers of America one last time. I would say go for it, and I would say go early, especially with 4th of July. Universal, bit easier to go. They're also more patriotic about the 4th of July, especially with Jaws, because remember from the movie, 4th of July, got to keep the beach open. So, yeah, you'll see like the people on stilts walking around. They'll have like Uncle Sam walking around. They have like the Statue of Liberty walking around. It's insane. It's like America all over the place at Universal. It's something else. As a matter of fact, I will be at Universal on July 4th in the morning. I'll be streaming from there in the morning, and I'll be streaming from SeaWorld in the evening. So,
SeaWorld is nice on July 4th.
SeaWorld has insane fireworks, like Disney used to have insane level fireworks. Like, I mean, Universal does too. Well, when they get that show up and running at Epic Universe, but yeah, SeaWorld has some sick fireworks, and they have a drone show this year, and a drone show.
Ooh.
Oh,
SeaWorld has a
Okay,
drone?
I
that's
love
awesome.
drones.
I haven't seen. Okay.
Yeah, there's a drone show. So yeah, I'm gonna stream the drone show and the fireworks over there at SeaWorld. So
I wonder what
it's the
Epic is
first.
gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
I
Like Epic, if they're gonna do
know.
a 4th of July show.
I was supposed to be at Epic for 4th of July, but we noped out of it when they had the pass holder previews instead. So we decided
Yeah, I
to go
remember you
again.
saying that.
Yeah, because we knew it was going to be insane. Because we bought those tickets before the pass holder preview. So we're like, okay, well, let's go during the pass holder preview instead. Not as many people, brand new park smell. So that's why we
Yeah.
didn't do it. But I can't wait to hear about what they did at Epic. Because if they pull off the fireworks show that they've been testing, it's gonna be insane. Hello, Nicole Williams. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am doing great and glad you are here. Phantom Dragon is that going there now? Let me know, because I think that looks like a little bit of a mistype. I think that means you're there now. You're Disney now. Let me
Typo.
know. Yeah, it's like autocorrects
Oh
messes
yeah.
me up so
Oh
darn much,
gosh.
I hate autocorrect.
What is
Fingers
wrong?
and autocorrect do not get along.
No, and I've done it, or butt text by accident. Some people do that too. What is wrong with Disney? Why are they so mean? Good grief. In a nutshell, instead of having Disney being run by creatives, you have Disney being run by a weatherman. As much as I don't like some things that Michael Eisner did, at least he backed up Imagineering and gave them the money
Yep.
and the resources to do what they wanted to do. And when he expanded the hotels, it's like we need to give people different options, from value resorts to moderate resorts to get more people to stay on property. The merchandise was shut up and take my money type of merchandise. Between the entertainment, that's like the era where you got like a Goofy movie and all of that other stuff. That
I love a Goofy movie.
That I love that. That movie still sells merch and sells it out completely. If you have something with Powerline,
oh heck yeah,
it's amazing.
The last day of school song, my husband plays that almost every year for the kids' last day of school, like while they're getting ready.
That's funny. I never thought to do that with Christian.
It's so cool. And when they have at least last 2 years, when they have the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, the pre-show before the parade, they actually bring out Max and they do some of the songs from a Goofy movie. It looks like 90s Disney Channel, like all over again. People lose it. It's
so cool.
It's so cool. They have them in the parks, certain places, usually over in the studios, but more now because of Cool Kid Summer. Talk about that.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Kiss My Grits says, hey everyone. Allegedly, Bob Iger was Josh D'Amaro at Epic Universe this week. Y'all think they learned anything?
No.
They probably signed up to try to get hired.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Or they were there to beg back the Imagineers to come back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we please have our Imagineering back?
Just like, no, you got rid of them. You don't get them back. They're probably like, hey, I used to work for you. How's it going, Bob? How do you
have better benefits?
Yeah, I have better benefits. I have, we built this park where it wasn't, you can't do that. It was just, okay, well, what can we do with existing technology and what can we push the boundaries with to get? If there was
you get the level of
brain, Bob.
You get that level of creativity when people feel comfortable in a work environment. You can tell that they love their job because it looks fabulous. And that's what you get when people love working somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Even the video when they first announced the park, like I'll never forget with Isle of Burke and the Universal creators were talking about putting this part of the park together, and they said, we want to give this experience. You don't just see the Vikings, but you're living with the dragons. And they talked about what that was like. We wanted to see dragons in the air, dragons walking around, dragons all over the place, just so many dragons. And at the crux of that, when they talk about the experience of meeting Toothless, I swear it looked like they were about to cry on camera. And it's like, I got it, but I didn't really, really get it until I saw that meet and greet in person.
Because the stuff they were pushing, they were creating at Isle of Burke, they wanted to do at Pandora, but they got pushed back and the budget was cut. So those creatives are now at Universal, and Universal told them, don't worry about the money, just create. And they took it, they ran with it.
Well, I don't even think everyone thought Isle of Burke was going to be a big deal, but you don't understand how much that resonates with kids. Like one of my kids, anything dragons, everything dragons. Dragons are huge right now with children. And so even if How to Train Your Dragon seemed like an old property, the dragons are just very popular with kids right now. And so bringing that back totally resonated with the kids. When I told my kids there were animatronic dragons you could touch, they lost their minds. They have been begging to go to Epic now.
You think about it, there are two main really immersive lands, is Burke and Nintendo World. Other lands are cool, but for kids, you're not beating those.
Yeah.
I don't think Disney has anything to answer that.
No, they don't.
No.
Not short term.
Yeah, exactly. Not short term. And you can't think short term on a project like this, which is why Disney needs to stop reacting.
By short term, I mean, they didn't have anything even in the pipe to
Yeah,
even see this coming.
exactly.
I would love to see the look on Iger's face, and then when they seen this in person and went, "Oh crap!" You
I
know,
mean, I have like
Probably
two.
just rolled his eyes.
That just looks so cool.
that was so fun.
No.
You just walk in and it's just like everything, even like the puppets, how they move, how they look. You know, the
That just looks
fire
like
drill.
so much fun.
It is. It's like it's so hard to describe. It's like you're literally inside of the entire movie, but it's like live action with the characters roaming around. When we were at the Toothless meet and greet, I got video bombed by Tough Nut. He was like, I gotta cheer on my best friend, you know? And this dragon here, oh my gosh. This one, if the kids get close, it'll trip something off and it just blows like smoke like that.
That's how you get the smoke. Okay.
Blast of cold air feels amazing in Florida, especially in the summer heat.
And it is. And it's so cool because you don't really expect it. It's just kind of like breathing and looking around. And then as soon as you get up close to it, especially when kids get close to it, watch the kids do it because they'll slowly creep up there and then, you know, all the smoke comes by. It is absolute coolest. But yeah, stuff like this and how, you know, alive the Isle of Burke is, you
Well, and
know.
that you don't have to just be on a ride to have fun. There is fun to have everywhere. There's things to see. You can enjoy it even if you're not on a ride.
That's exactly it. And that's one of the things that Walt Disney talked about with putting his parks together, that he wanted a park the entire family could enjoy, that there was something for everyone, you know, to do. And that's what it's like when you go to Epic. There's places just sit around if you just want to look. There's, you know, a carousel that's absolutely everybody's speed. You've got thrill rides, you've got scary rides, you've just got, you know, everything that's there. And again, it's like that's what Disney used to be. And when you go there, you actually feel that when you're in Epic Universe. And I think they just look like, holy crap, we are 10 years behind any any of this stuff. So yeah, look for lots and lots and lots of discounts coming
Thinking
from Disney.
as a person, like, hey, well, if we have to get engineers to come back to do this stuff, what are we going to have to offer them? I'm thinking it that way. It's like, what carrot do they got to dangle to get that kind of talent that's going to compete with what they lost to those
Mhm.
parks?
What they lost due
They
to
gotta
hubris.
they gotta regain their trust and their consumer base, which was the nuclear family.
Mhm.
That's the first thing.
Yeah, because they've been going after Disney Disney adults, not adults who love Disney. Disney adults, those are two separate things. Adults who love Disney, it's just like, you know, we remember when it was really good, when we got value for the money. There's like, I love Disney, but I'm not
Mhm.
afraid to call them out when stuff isn't the way, you know,
Yep.
the way that it used to be, you know. And you can see that spirit that was literally, and Tom can speak to this too, and especially those of you who've been to Epic, soon as before you even get into the park, before you leaving the parking lot, you hear music when you're going to the gate. Like, you literally hear this anticipatory music that's playing, that's
You're not
getting you.
getting a quiet moment to just like not know you're in the park. It's not like, oh, I'm just standing in a parking lot. No, there's music. You're immersed. You're getting in. You're getting hit with this different theme park stuff. You
Jeez.
notice they opened that new little gift store on the right when you walk in now, Lorena, before you even get to security and everything else. That wasn't there during the preview. Remember, it was closed off.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's open now. So you have that. Then before the security now, we're on the left where there's the where the bathrooms are. On the right,
Oh,
there's another
jeez.
store there of guest services. So it's a lot more going on there where they're immersing you, where you can get things like the Nintendo bands and everything else. So you're getting it before you're in the park, so you're not wasting time getting them while you're waiting to get in the park.
Exactly. And another thing to point out, when you go, I don't know how, whoever, I think they stole all the good people, all the cast members who were in horticulture at Disney and brought them over to Universal and put them to work at Epic Universe, because when you walk through there, it is crazy. All like
Linda
the
was all over
flowers
the
and when
Oh
it
my
nuts.
God. Linda was all over the flowers, taking pictures, looking at. Oh, look at these! I'm like, oh my God! I'm like, we're at a
I
flower
love
convention.
gardens and flowers, and so I even still enjoy going to flower and garden to look at the topiaries, and um, it's just pretty. Who doesn't like
Oh,
something
yeah.
that's scenic and pretty, and it's calming? You know, it just kind of, I don't know what it does in the brain, but it just like calm. It's just calming. I don't know.
Well,
I
actually,
agree.
okay, social science nerd here because that's what my degree's in. There's actually research studies that show that nature actually is soothing psychologically and calming. You need to spend 30 minutes in nature every day for your mental health, optimally. And so when they have these things at those parks, you're getting your entertainment, but you're also getting that nature connection, which people need. And so it just also looks finished from an aesthetic
It
purpose.
does.
Like all of those little details make it look finished.
Or puts
It's
the word park in theme park, which is what Disney has.
yes.
They've been getting rid of stuff like that. I mean, yeah, you got flower and garden, but other than that, they've really been ripping apart the natural elements of the earth, you know, from water features
Mhm.
to uh, the planters, you know, are kind of like, on the imagination's just not there like it used to be.
No. But that, I saw that and I'm like, oh my gosh. Part of it reminds me of Victoria Gardens in
Mm.
Vancouver. British Columbia, literally like that, with how much foliage is there. But they got a great start at doing that. If you go over to Islands of Adventure in Jurassic Park, that whole section, the way that they've got the horticulture set up over there is just absolutely, absolutely amazing. Goofar 35, I see you. Says Disney is so far behind Universal now that even if Universal does something mediocre, it's still better than anything Disney now. Universal has about
Yeah.
15 years of market research data on Disney.
Yep.
That's how far. And this is when
Oh,
they
yeah.
are like doing surveys, sending things out, constantly asking people. Every survey they were asking about how they compared to Disney, what people would want to see,
Yeah.
what they did
They're not
better
afraid
than
to ask
Disney.
those questions. Disney
Yeah.
wasn't putting those questions in their surveys. You didn't see them asking, or what are other competitors doing that, you know, you'd like to see us implement or plus up or do better. And Universal just came out with like those questions, like they did not hold back.
No. Oh, I heard that. Kiss my grits.
Uh that's
The
the
team
first I'm hearing this.
responsible for
Jeez.
TVA is the lead team designing villains. Landlord, help us all. Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
I, you know what? Yeah. Remember, I can't remember the last thing Disney promised where the concept art actually matched what they delivered us. So they're back there tearing things up. They've got the permit, I believe, already, but they've already started demolishing stuff back there. I'm not really. We've got Dark Universe, and they're going to be expanding on
Yeah.
Dark Universe. I can't see, at least right now, given Disney's track record, I can't see that looking all that great. But we shall see for sure. Let's see. Hey, Dad, man, I see you. Hey. See, we went once on 4th of July and only stayed at campground to watch fireworks. Yeah, I get you. I get you.
Smart.
When I went on July the 4th, I purposely scraped, this is when you could still do it pretty reasonably, scraped to stay at the Polynesian. Why? July 4th, we were pretty much in lockdown. Cast members saying, we were on the bottom floor. They're like, you might want to bring your patio furniture in because day guests will take it to scout out their their spaces for the fireworks and everything. It was insane. The Magic Kingdom just gets overrun, that whole area, because that's the best place to watch the fireworks. So yeah, the campground, if you're staying there, if you're staying at the oh my gosh, Wilderness Lodge. Again, the Polynesian, I think, is the best for the fireworks display, but also the contemporary. If you're at any of those hotels or the campground, you are not leaving at all. It's just nuts. And now they're taking away some of they're doing construction over there at the campground. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. They're not doing this construction.
Oh, they're probably not improving it.
No.
They're going to make another bar.
More bars and more DVCs. That's what they want to do.
Are you freaking kidding me?
DVC
Sam, I'm
Lounge.
so serious.
Mm-hmm.
They took away, remember the shooting gallery in Frontierland?
Frontierland.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, they first of all, they made it free. And then on one stream, I said, well, we should probably enjoy that while we got it, because Disney doesn't give you anything for free. And then they announced they were going to make it a DVC lounge. So now the Frontierland Shooting Gallery, which used to be one of the things you could do for pretty reasonable. Yeah, now they've turned it into a DVC.
I remember doing it as a kid. It was so much fun.
Yeah, that was like a rite of passage to do. You got to go to the shooting gallery and shoot there with like the Midway games that you would, that you'd see at the, at the fair, but it was themed to Frontierland in Frontierland, and it was great. But yeah, not so much. They decided to take it away.
Dude, as a boy mama, I know that's a thing that's a boy thing. We need boy things. Like
yeah.
They're ruining boy brands.
Totally. You'd get like the Davy Crockett coonskin cap and go and like shoot.
Heck yeah.
And then when they had, Pirates of the Caribbean, that franchise, they had, like all the pirate swag and outfits. So boys would have like pirate swords and all that stuff. Yeah. Trying to steal ideas. Yeah, Gavin Howell. They're like, maybe we can steal that. Although they snatched something from Cirque Arcanu. I know they did that with the villain show. If you go see it and you've gone to see Cirque Arcanu, you can see they tried to pull some things very badly, but they did it. 76 of you guys in between YouTube and X. Thank you so much. This is the Resort Recon Live podcast. Let's see. Let's get to some more Universal Orlando news. So there's been more announcements with regards to Halloween Horror Nights, most notably the original houses. So where'd the other stuff go? They haven't updated their website with the new houses. That's crazy. Here I am thinking you guys updated it. But anyway, they've got more haunted houses. They've got like, I think, one with killer dolls in it. That one, I think I hope I get to see that one from behind the scenes with the killer dolls. The thing with the and I'm going to try to see if I can pull this up. The thing with the original houses is that, well, one, they're not IP houses, and two, it is just crazy how creative they can get. Like Grave of Flesh, welcome to your funeral, where it's about to go from bad to worse. You'll enter the underworld and be hunted by flesh eaters for eternity. That's one of their original houses. Now, with the original houses, yeah, of course, the IP houses, but with the original houses, literally there is a competition every year within Universal Creative. People literally submit scripts. Like, it's not half-assed. Like, from before you enter the house to exiting the house, the whole concept behind it, the story behind it, the scares behind it, all of that. There's like a competition. So every year they will reject the ones that they're not going to do. They're like, no, we're not going to do that. There may be some where they're just like, hey, we want to do these, but in order to execute it right, we need more lead time. So it'll go on the docket for next year. And then the ones where they're like, not only are we doing this, we're definitely doing this one. So that's how they do that. So that's where you get these creative, original houses, and Universal does their original houses so much better. The IP houses are okay, but the original ones, that's where you see some crazy-ish going on. And they are so scary and like inventive. So that's so they announced Grave of Flesh. And where is the, I'm gonna find it because the doll one, that one's like so creepy. Oh, yeah, here we go. Dolls, Let's Play Dead.
Gosh. Oh, yeah. Nope.
Yeah, hard pass. That's so creepy.
Clowns. Jeez.
I'm intrigued. I'm curious to see how are they going to do that.
I am too, because I totally get this. But see,
animatronic dolls.
My sister collects porcelain dolls, and there are people who don't like going over to her house because of her porcelain dolls, or at least that's what some people have said. Yeah, that's gonna be funny.
I could see that. You ever get so drunk you wake up and this damn thing's staring at you, and you're like, "What is that looking at me?" And you're still hungover, and you're like, "I was at my sister's house. This is going back years, and she had a few of them, and yeah, no." So I want to see this house because maybe it'll help me get over those recurring nightmares. That damn thing staring at me.
With the swapped heads and the ones that don't match, and
oh my gosh,
and stuff.
They'll be winking at you, following you like this. Their eyes following you.
Is it looking?
See, my girlies love porcelain dolls because that's a thing in our family. My family's always just like porcelain dolls, and not in a scary way. I have purposely kept all of the scary porcelain doll crap away from my girls because I don't want them to stop liking their porcelain dolls. So don't take little kids to this one, probably.
No, unless you're a twisted little girl like I was and love true crime and was like, what if one night one of my dolls turned on me or something like that? Yes, I actually thought about that type of stuff.
Really?
The first horror movie I ever saw, and Dad Man's in the chat because I pretty much traumatized him with this. The first horror movie I ever saw, I was like 2. And my mom was watching Trilogy of Terror on television. And she was too scared to move. And I'm just playing, and all of a sudden I'm looking, I'm like, oh, there's this doll on the TV, and it's chasing people. Okay. And my mom said I got up on the couch with her and watched it, and neither one of us could move. And then when the commercial came on, we just like ran in separate directions. That scarred me in like a really weird way, like for life. So movies like Annabelle.
Yeah.
Anything like I'll sit and I'll watch that. It's just like I have to. Megan, the first one, not the trash reboot, I mean a sequel, which I'm actually going to go and see so I can rip on it. But Megan, the first one, that one was so good. I mean, it was PG-13. Even camera girl sat and watched it. She didn't move. She sat and watched the whole thing. But this looks like so much fun. You're about to become doll-sized and be hunted by toys that have been burnt, melded, and stitched together by a twisted little girl.
This is like Toy Story, the creepy neighbor boy, but a girl form.
That's what Kiss My Grit said. Are we gonna get the baby head on
with the little
electrolyte?
collie thing.
Disney should have sold that. They should have sold that. They would have made a ton of freaking money.
I wonder what merch.
They'll make a
There are
knockoff
people.
version of it.
There
You
are
know how
people
they
who
got
will
the
buy
little-
that.
You know how they got that little pumpkin from their merch? I wonder if they're going to get any of those things from that.
Oh, Little Boo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Little Boo might be in there too. How many dolls does she have though? She has 50 of them. I totally get it. Yeah, probably, or the ones, some of the dolls that she would get from people as presents and they didn't really think it through very well. And it's like ugly and you're like, I'm never going to play with this. Well, I might experiment on it. Let's see. What happens if I pop the arm out? Okay, yes, I was
Oh
a
my
twisted
gosh.
child.
Take the heads off dolls, fill them with styrofoam, and use them for fishing bobbers.
Mm.
My sister get pissed at me. Just saying. Whoops.
Yes, you did. That did. Yes, chasing her with a knife. Yeah, I told you, it scarred me for life. But if you want to, this is a type of house that will appeal to a very base fear that a lot of little girls or big girls who still remember that stuff speaks to. Your dolls are supposed to be safe. Your dolls are supposed to protect you. But what if they freaking turn on you?
Nope.
No, thank you.
Chucky.
See, I can see little boys loving this. Little boys will love this.
Oh yeah.
I love Bride of Chucky.
I'm liking this right now. Who are you kidding? I'm not little anymore.
Yes, Karen Blackett. Yes, I remember that. So yeah, this is one where I'm gonna go on the backstage tour of like 6 of the houses. So I'm definitely gonna do that. I better see this one. This one I may brave the actual house and walk through it because I gotta do it. Sid run away. Disney is
run away.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are. They
Yeah.
did. They went to that part in Toy Story and looked at Sid's room and all the toys.
Straight up.
And said, what if?
It is so darn twisted. Roller Bob, remember Roller Bob?
Oh yeah. And then the Barbie legs with the fishing hook and
Yes.
Oh, that was
I cracked up because I'm just like, that made complete and total sense because he would steal his sister's doll and conduct experiments on it.
Yeah, he put the pterodactyl head on the one doll. Anyway, I remember all of it.
This house is going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I cannot.
The rat freaked out in
Techie T is the rat. Oh wow. That's funny. Yeah, but yep.
I guess that could be scary, a giant rat. I could see that.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, my nephew was so scared.
But he's a mouse, not a rat.
Yeah,
my
rat. He looks cute. Chuck E. Cheese guy just doesn't look cute.
No.
Chuck E. Cheese looks like he's stoned half the time.
That's why Five Nights at Freddy's is so freaking scary. Because if you went to Chuck E. Cheese or Showbiz Pizza, those again, that's a fundamental scary fear.
Yeah.
Just why that did so good. I cannot wait to check that out. Monkey Jeebus says Universal should create the Island of Dolls in Mexico. Ooh. That may be something they're working on. They might have incorporated some of that in this house. So this is definitely high on my list to check out. I wonder if they've got advanced merchandise for it already. Because usually when they announce the houses, they'll put like preview merchandise. I need so much of this. This ranks up there with the Hello Kitty that instead of Hello Kitty, it was like Hello Chucky. No, I think it was Hello. Yeah, I think it was Hello Chucky, and they had like Hello Kitty, but like a doll, like the Chucky doll. Yeah, that merchandise still.
Yeah, wow. Seen that. We just seen it. That was cool.
That was great. I love that. So we're going to go from The haunted houses, yes. Halloween Horror Nights is huge. It is absolutely huge. I'll be dropping videos and doing live streams about planning for Halloween Horror Nights because, yes, you will need to plan for Halloween Horror Nights. And I have tips for those of you who are scaredy cats who want to be cool and go, but are like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm worried I'm gonna be scared out of my mind. How the heck am I supposed to navigate that? I got you. I got you. Your girl goes there by herself. I got you.
Mhm. Watch. I'll be the one friend that you'll take me for the first time in a long time, and then you'll say, "Never again. I'm never taking Erica again."
It's like, you remember we took Erica last time? I was gonna
See,
do it this time.
I'm going to
We'll
be
take her
filming that.
take her to
I
the
will
bar.
be there filming that for perpetuity to watch Erica's reaction.
We'll drop her
I
off at the Dead Coconut Club so she can hang out
oh
there and drink. And
Bye.
yes, that is a
yeah,
thing.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna need a couple.
I'm a
Gonna need
massive
a couple of
scaredy.
those.
I don't. Yeah. I honestly, the thing is, I actually feel more scared when I go with people I feel safe with. So if I feel like I'm safe, like I've got people that I feel safe with, I'm actually more scared. If I
Mhm.
go by myself, I am less scared because I'm on like, you know, I gotta put my big girl pants on and be the boss mode.
Mhm.
So yeah, I feel like going with people would actually be more scary.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm reading Kiss My Grits. Yeah, yep.
Oh, yes, no, no.
Well, they
I
had it
would
with roaches, and I have a big phobia of
Oh,
the
roaches.
fear
I could
factor
see
one.
them doing spiders because they're people that have phobia. Oh gosh. I mean, they
Ugh,
have the
I can
movie,
handle
so I
spiders
don't
to
know
a
who else
point.
will make it.
I
Oh my
would
gosh, the stories from
right.
Afghanistan. I don't know, Erica, did your husband ever have those giant camel spider stories?
Somebody told
Oh,
me
let
about
me
that.
ask him.
I briefly
No, I
dated
don't
a guy who
remember.
told me about the camel spiders. Yeah.
Yeah, my husband has camel spider stories. You don't even want to hear them. They're
Mm-mm.
bad.
No, no, no. They are
They
demon
they
spiders.
got they captured a little, I don't even know what it's called. It's like a not a field rat, but it's like a little I
Hmm.
don't know, it's a cute little desert mouse thing looking thing, and they called him Mr. Jingles. And they
Okay, that's fun.
they would
From
they would
the
feed
Green
it
Mile.
and pet it. I was like and it's this wild little, like, almost not really a prairie dog, 'cause prairie dogs are kinda big or can
Mhm.
get kinda but, yeah, it's like this little desert mouse rodent looking thing. It was cute, super cute, and they called him Mr. Jingles because it was Christmas time.
That is such a military thing. Yeah, I can totally imagine. I can totally imagine service members doing that when they're bored. They go and get themselves a pet.
That reminds me, my grandfather told me when he was over in Germany in World War II, they had two German shepherds, one named Hitler and one named Mussolini.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh,
That
heck
I'm
yeah.
like, write this down. I can never forget.
Cute.
It was
That's
hilarious.
military humor right there.
Yes, I'm just like, that's freaking funny. That's absolutely funny, and I totally get it. The other thing, and I don't know if people caught this because I think I just got to this last night. Universal had their Passover Appreciation Days, and why is that 2024? I wanted 2025, but anyway, they have the pass holder appreciation days. I think it's is it August? Hang on. Oh, I need that cup. Oh, sure, wrong thing. I
She's
need this
quarreling.
freestyle cup.
All of that looks fun.
I need this. Okay, so I have to get that at the Passholder Lounge. Passholder Lounge is over in Islands of Adventure in Toon Lagoon. Great place to drop over there, cool off, get help with whatever you need to have help. They have your dedicated guest services person over there. Freestyle machines, plug up all your merchandise, your electronic items and stuff like that. And where is that darn thing? Dang it! I should have checked. But anyway, thank you. There is. You know what? I'm gonna do this right. Hang on. Let me search again. Really tells you I did not have my caffeine. Okay. We'll use
Mm.
news today, even though I got my issues with Tom.
Oh,
But anyway,
man.
yes. This is the third year that they've had it. The first year that they
Mm.
had it was right after COVID. It was one night and it was slammed. And I say slammed because they were late sending out the announcement and then they only put it out on X. They didn't put it out any other way. So things were like sold out. And I think, Dad, man, I think that was the year where I heard about it and I blasted it on X. And I didn't do that. Blasted on an X and you had to go and register for it. So it's just for annual pass holders. So with Islands of Adventure, I think you can get in at 4, but from 7 to park close, it's just for pass holders. It's like a big, huge party that they have going on that night. They'll have the characters out. They have like the special Coca-Cola, like 90s style looking lounge that's out there. Hardly any lines for the attractions because it's just for pass holders. You can get in there on that. Yep, that blast kept us in the loop. Yeah, I totally missed it this time around. I don't know why I just said other stuff going on. Yeah, I like that cup. I need that cup. I need that cup. Pass holders can take home a free UOAP exclusive magnet while supplies last. Yes, there's all kinds
Mm.
of swag that they do, and this is so cool because Disney doesn't do this
Mm-mm.
at all, and we had fun.
That
If you
I'm
Does
aware
this
of.
include Epic? Like, can
No.
no,
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 not yet.
just Islands of Adventure.
okay.
And that's usually the park that they usually reserve for special events like this, like limited nights, or just for certain groups. Like with MegaCon, they had a MegaCon night over at Islands of Adventure. And Tom, I know you were saying like NASA has events
Yeah,
where they'll
KSC
have the
night.
whole
Yeah.
park. Yeah, that's the one they use because of the space. Because the studios doesn't have the space. Islands of Adventure
Mm.
does have the space. They'll probably eventually bring it to Epic Universe. I think they started
Mm.
doing that already with certain groups. But for this, it's cool because it's just pass holders. You don't have to pay anything extra except for the food or whatever it is that you want to do. And it's just really, really nice throughout the whole event. They're just like, thank you for being a pass holder, all kinds of stuff that they have going on. We absolutely loved it. So I'm going back that Friday, August 15th, because the 16th was sold out. I don't know if there's reservations that are still ready or not. Go ahead and try. Last ditch effort to do, and they did this the first night that they had this event, first year they had this event. If you went there the day of the event, you actually got in as a pass holder. They they let you in. So
I'll be seeing you August 15th, me and Linda both.
okay. All right, all right, all right.
You hear that, Linda? Hopefully she's in chat still. Put on the calendar.
I figured that Venice capacity, because they dropped it the 26th. That's when I
Wow.
got an email about it and forgot about it. Looked on X and saw that reservations had opened, and by the time I went there, only that Friday was available. So I grabbed that. So again, while it's at capacity, you can get in the day of, at least they did the year before last year. I don't know if they'll do it this year because when they did that, a lot of people complained because the park was so full of pass holders that it felt like a regular day at the park, even though it was at night and they had all these cool extras and stuff that were going on. So yeah, at least Universal appreciates pass holders. Disney wishes they would go away. How nice of them. Yeah, Universal really hooks you up. So if you're taking a trip to Universal, and I always tell people this, consider getting a annual pass for at least one person in your party. All you need is one. If you're from out of state, you can actually pay monthly for that pass. You get discounts, parking, food, merchandise. So that pass will actually pay for itself on your first visit. So you buy the pass, just bring your voucher, and then when you get to the parks, you just go up to guest services, scan you in, they get you hooked up, and you get all those discounts. So unlike with Disney, with Universal, you can be out of state and get any level of pass that they have. I mean, you have to pay, they upcharge because you're not in the state of Florida, but it pays for itself. So I always tell people get at least one annual pass in your party. And it helps to stretch out the money, especially if you don't want to pay all the ticket price up front. You get the annual pass, split out monthly. That's a way to save money. And you also, get all the benefits. So
my boss confirmed it.
August 15th is okay. All right. Gonna be great. August 15th may not work for us this time, especially with us going in September. Well, you're going to Epic, so yeah. There's a reason they do it in August, hurricane season, and it's the calm before the Halloween Horror Nights storm kicks off.
Yeah. That makes sense that they need to have some downtime between the two things.
Because it is, the studios for Halloween Horror Nights is crowded the way that Magic Kingdom used to be on the regular in the summer. It is like wall-to-wall people. That's why in August, when that event first kicks off, it's so miserable because it's so hot and it's full of people and the people keep coming and there's hardly any space to move around. It's like being at the club trying to move around there. Something else. Hey, Snortapoopus, good seeing ya. So, yep, that is the Universal news for the week. We'll keep you posted all about that going on, because that is the premier event in Orlando for Halloween. They have Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. I'll talk about that at a later date. It's not what it used to be, but if you want to go, you need a strategy to go. But between Halloween Horror Nights and Howl-O-Scream at SeaWorld and stuff that pops off down at Icon Park in the International Drive area, scary season is really crowded down here. So we'll take a little break here. I haven't watched this video in so long. It's hilarious. John B. Christ, he's a Christian comedian, but he nails it in this video. Have any of you guys ever seen this before?
No.
I don't think so. But he looks familiar to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's been on Dry Bar, I think.
Okay, that's why.
I'm not sure. But
we love Dry Bar.
I watch Dry Bar a lot too. Yeah, it's so funny. I saw this video and I've seen it a couple of years ago and I just cracked up. Watch this.
We made it to the happiest place on earth. It's 9 a.m. I got to schedule every minute of our day until 9 p.m. Pay attention and stay close. I just flew my family halfway across America to visit Disney, and all my homeschool kids want to do is visit the Hall of Presidents. We need a map. $45 for bedazzled mouse ears, baby. You want these or you want to go to college? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's 9:30 in the morning. It's too early to get wet. We're not waiting an hour and a half for impressions of France, okay? Eat a baguette and lose a world war. That's my impression of France. Let's go to Space Mountain. No, I'm not going to push him in a stroller, okay? He's 4. No, that's not right. The Splash Mountain is this way. No, you cannot have goofy-shaped chicken nuggets. Sit down. Your mother brought ham sandwiches. Oh, for heaven's sakes, pick up your garbage and throw it away. This isn't Six Flags. Listen, Rebecca, she's not coming out today, okay? That dream to meet Elsa, you better let it go. Oh, you want to go to a small world all all by yourself, huh? Well, it's going to turn into a pretty big world when you come outside and can't find your parents. Oh, great. Now my wife wants a photo with Gaston. Perfect. Well, hurry up. Make believe your feet aren't sore. This is Disney. Use your imagination. See these locks right here, kids? That's what happens when you disobey your parents. You know what I want to ride? A park bench in the shade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's Mackenzie? My goodness, I got to fake a leg injury or something. I need one of those scooters. Honestly, how are there possibly so many strollers in here? We have been here for 10 hours. I mean, my love language is quality time, but not this much. A 4-hour wait for Toy Story? That line is to infinity and beyond. I feel like we're going the wrong direction. Well, is it air conditioned? If not, I don't want to go. Información. No, it's in Portuguese. No wonder this map doesn't make any sense. If you don't get back here by the count of 3, I will spank you into Tomorrowland.
Score any size Coca-Cola freestyle for just $1 at Wawa. Flavor up at your next visit.
I really love this guy. He is.
Oh my gosh.
He is so
Is he the
funny.
one that has the joke about the parking lot at church?
Oh yeah.
And how? Okay, I know who he is now, and he's a preacher's son. His dad, I think, is a preacher. He's got funny stuff.
He is absolutely hilarious. I love his comedy, especially he's so on point and so down to earth. But the one at Disney, definitely. That's like when I would go as a kid. It was like, no, you can't have that. We brought food. We brought food into the park. Unless it's air conditioned, I don't want to deal with it. How much is this? What?
You want to go to college? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God!
Answer him back. Go. No, I don't want to go to college. I want that instead.
Mm-hmm.
See, that would be my sons. They would be the ones that would come back at me with that.
I'd say it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I when I watch this, I always have fun laughing about how Disney was. We made jokes about it then, but it was more of a tongue-in-cheek type of joke, as opposed to how you're like really getting fleeced of late. But speaking of getting fleeced, I really want to talk about this because Erica brought it up, and this again goes along with the July 4th tips, especially what we're going to talk about. Because whenever between the 4th and the Christmas holidays, that is when I would say Disney is on tightest security lockdown, and things get a little nuts. So coming from Disney Dining, and I have to thank Erica for bringing this to my attention here. Disney now checking guest wallets before entering all theme parks.
It's not enough to drain them dry. They got to check if you brought enough money.
Why?
Oh, that's good.
Like, no, you're too poor to come in here. No, you can't come in here. You can't come in.
Hey, you only have a debit card. Can we check your account balance? You didn't bring any Visas or MasterCards. You just bought a debit card.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't gonna fly.
Yep. Okay, what's their justification for this? Because honestly, that just sounds absolutely ridiculous.
It's absolutely nuts. So let's see here. Recently, a Reddit user, I know Reddit is a cesspool, but just like Mos Eisley Cantina, it's one of the best places to get intelligence if you want to go certain places to find out.
Sadly.
Unfortunately, that's what it is. So a user shared an experience that seems to be becoming increasingly common among Disney visitors: stricter and more detailed security screenings at the park entrances. Which I get. If you've ever seen, especially in my Welcome to Florida show, how many people will do stuff like try to sneak in cocaine in the kid's diaper, firearms, even though they tell you to leave your firearms in your car, bringing weed into the park,
oh my gosh,
knives, stuff like that. Yeah. So with the 4th holiday, yeah, I kind of get it. But also Disney's security, let's just say their process is not as smooth as Universal's. Universal's has, like I call it, in my brain, I call it zero trust. They scan everybody and your stuff before you get through there. With Disney, you walk through this darn scanner, and if it looks like it might be a problem, it can't tell the difference between a can of native body spray and, say, some kind of incendiary device. So then they send you over to secondary screening where you have to stand in this line, and then they don't do it by first come, first serve. It's how you come up on the screen, and they don't tell people that. So then people think, you're cutting in front of me. How come they get to go first and I don't get to go first? I've seen arguments like that happen because Disney doesn't make it transparent that that's how they're picking people. I had to literally ask someone, I said, how come they go before me? Oh, well, they came up first by picture. I said, you might want to tell people that before you get some really nasty meltdowns with some people, especially when it's hot and tired and people don't know what the heck is going on. But that's what they do. And it's real annoying. And then you're separated by your party, and then you have to stand over on the side and wait. And it's totally messed up. But anyway, according to the Post, the guest was asked to empty every single item from their backpack, even having their wallet searched, something they said has never happened in their 20 years of visiting the parks. So let's see. So I had this happen twice so far during our trip and wanted to see if anyone else is experiencing this. I got dinged going through security. I've had that happen. Waited in line, pulled out my wallet and phone to put in the bin. After I put them in the bin, they wand me, and then I unzip my bag. To my shock and dismay, I am asked to remove every single item from my backpack. They physically would not touch the backpack until every item was removed. I've never experienced this before. So with everything out and him looking through the bag, I go to grab my wallet, and he tells me to stop and that he has to look through my wallet. I was like, what? My wallet? In 20 years of going to the parks, they have never had me empty my bag or go through my wallet. Isn't it their job to go through the bag with at least some items in it and remove what you need? You guys ever experienced this? So I'll open this up to you guys in the panel. Have you ever had this happen?
Not to this extreme. We were there last year. And even when we went for Christian's graduation, it wasn't to this extreme. We would go through, if any of us was pinged by the scanner, it was usually one of our umbrellas that we forgot to take out of our bag and like hold out in front of us, and our cell phone. But I mean, like your wallet, and then them having you actually empty out everything one by one from your bag. I have yet to experience that. Now, one of the local daily streamers that's on YouTube, actually, it's not just two of them that I'm aware of now, have made mention that they have been targeted like that. But they don't say it in a negative way, obviously, because they're on the Disney Media Access list. But they have mentioned that on occasion they are asked to take everything out piece by piece. And they find it a little strange because it doesn't happen, at least, all the time, but it seems like we're hearing more increased stories. I feel like I'm just hearing more about this, and especially in the Disney groups, like the Facebook groups.
That sounds like the level of stuff that they pull at military festivals, because that's the only place I've ever heard of this happening. That's why I was so surprised. Because you go onto a military base for their 4th of July Freedom Fest or something like that. This happens all the freaking time. We are used to that as military families. They're going to scrutinize the heck out of you. But Disneyland, Disney World, this is so shocking for me. I had not ever heard anything. So that's surprising.
Now, in Disney's defense, based on what I'm aware of from having family that are former cast members, Disney's mindset is that, at least at Disney World, I can't speak for California, because Disney World traditionally over the years has been known to be the number one tourist destination, vacation destination in the world, not just in the US. For decades, that's the reputation they carried. And because of the amount of tourism that they they garnered, the idea was if there were to be, let's say, an attack, Disney has always seen themselves as a target, as a risk. So even after 9/11, they as well heightened all of their security for the same reasons as what they've done in the airports, because they've held themselves as, uh, you get people that want to make a statement, and they want to take out more than just one culture. And Magic Kingdom, particularly, does house almost every culture under the sun around the world. So Disney's always kind of put themselves in that category and security accordingly. That's how it was explained to me. Whether I agree with it or not, it's another story. But that's, at least in the C-suite, that's how they see themselves, the company.
Well, I will definitely agree with that. And I'll add to that let's just say at the time when I did hold a certain security clearance, a certain high level security clearance, when I was going to Disney World. So I had to take keen attention to what they were doing with respect to security. It is, like Erica said, the most popular tourist destination in the world. After 9/11, when the government wanted information about making things more secure, they went to Disney and talked to Disney security about to do that, because how they were able to manage so many people and manage security checkpoints. That's why they went there. Disney security is notoriously always tighter around 4th of July and Christmas, especially the 4th of July, because if someone wants to make a quote unquote statement, that would indeed be the day to do it. Magic Kingdom and the resorts around Magic Kingdom, that's literally ground zero. If you want to talk about a major target out of all the parks, it would be the Magic Kingdom, because people think Disney, simple, Cinderella Castle, where the heck that is, that's at the Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom has a no-fly zone over it.
Not to be
so
grim, but if you're going to do a terroristic action and that's going to happen, that's going to be your amount of mass casualties.
You're right. It is a symbol. It's a symbol of America, and I hadn't really considered it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's your girl's intel. Your girl's intel background coming out. But yes, it's an absolute symbol. No fly zone. When they do have fly zones, they make an exception for the Blue Angels flyover. They'll usually do that. That's like the only time that they will do that. The concentration of how many people that they have there, and people from all over the world who go there. So if there's ever a symbol of Americana, given the kind of crap that Disney's been doing of late, it still is. So it's definitely a major target. Now, when it comes to security, and I've been going through security as visiting from out of town, and especially as a local vlogger. So I've noticed a routine, like umbrellas will set it off. So they ask you to hold out your umbrella. Sometimes gimbals will set it off. That's why I always have to unscrew the tripod part, and I put all of that. Batteries will do it, because I have a solar battery pack that it looks like tactical gear, which is probably why it sets off the darn because it's solar. It's like this big. It's waterproof.
That's a weapon.
Yes,
you can knock somebody out.
you could, because security looked at it, and one guy was just like, "What is this?" I'm like, it's a battery pack. Oh, what's this on the top? I'm like, it's a solar collector. Oh, so how does it work? Is it to solar? I mean, it doesn't charge as fast as, plugging it up. But if you're out in the middle of nowhere somewhere and you can't get somewhere to plug it in, guess what? You got a solar collector on it. He's like, oh, it's got it looks like tactical gear. So I get pulled over for that a lot. Sometimes it'll go through security without an issue, but more than likely they'll pick it up. So I have my gimbal, I have my battery pack, all of that stuff in a separate zip up plastic bag that I got from Target that was big enough so they could just go in, take it out if they needed to, and look at it that way. Sometimes I get through security and it's not an issue. It doesn't set things off. Sometimes it does, but I always pack. And again, this is from my days as having a security clearance. I always pack knowing that someone is going to go through my stuff.
Oh, heck yeah.
Right.
I have no expectation of privacy, especially as I've been to other airports around the world. Heathrow, freaking hate that airport. Heathrow, Frankfurt, Manchester, Vancouver, Toronto. I have zero expectation of privacy when I go through that with security. So with Disney, again, with the battery pack, that'll trip it off. I have my native body spray. I could get it in the stick form, but there's something about how nice and cool it is when you put it on your body and you're stuck around a bunch of stinky people at the end of the day. So I have that. I also have off spray in a canister because mosquitoes freaking love me. I have, I have, sunscreen because I have to have mineral sunscreen because avobenzone, I'm allergic to that stuff. So between that, I have a stainless steel water bottle. You see where I'm going here? It's like I have a stainless steel water bottle. I even have, I kid you not, like my makeup compact that had a darn mirror in it, a magnet with the mirror. That set it off at one point in time. I think maybe once or twice I've been asked to unzip my wallet, but it was more like oh, okay, nothing in it. That it just looked fine and, didn't have drugs in it or anything.
I wonder what size the wallet was, because that might be something that wasn't indicated. Because we're all thinking like the little billfold wallets or like the little coin purse things. If it was a bigger wallet that could fit like a cell phone and some other stuff in it, that might be the reason.
Almost like a clutch.
Purse.
Yeah, like a clutch sort of thing.
That's
okay.
I've seen wallets like that.
Yeah, I have too. Mine is the tiny Loungefly ones. But yeah, I could see that, especially if you have like a clutch style wallet that can hold a bunch of things in it. Yeah, I can kind of see that with that. But yeah, but every single item.
Specify that.
Yeah, they did, and it was just like they
specify
pulled out my wallet and phone and all of that. So it's like you kind of do have to be specific, because as much as it can be a hassle going through security, the bottom line is they're trying to keep the park safe. They're trying to keep you safe. So yes, it can be a pain in the ass, but if you get somebody who's new and who's green and who definitely doesn't want to get fired from their job, of course they're going to be a bit overzealous. I haven't always had to have my stuff taken out. Usually they'll unzip it, or they'll ask me to unzip it, and then they'll go in and they'll take things out. A lot of times they'll put it back. They'll be very apologetic if they couldn't put it back exactly the way that I had it patched, but sometimes they will do that. Now, for those of you with families, for those of you with small babies and toddlers, and you have to bring all of their stuff with them, yes, they are going to be taking everything out of the diaper bag. They're
expected to be like the airport.
Be like the airport. Because one of the Ziploc bags are your friend.
Oh, heck yes.
Big, clear bags are your friend. Separate formula and snacks and all that from diapers, from the clothes. If you have all of that in Ziploc bags, it's very easy for security to take them out, see what it is, and put them back, and you can get through security as efficiently as possible. So that's what you want to do. Pack all that stuff in Ziploc bags, except for, the emergency bottle you have out in front, because you got to get to that, immediately. But your hassle can be lessened the easier you make it for security to see what it is that you have in the bag.
It also just keeps things cleaner, because if you're worried about it just keeps your stuff from getting dirty and gross and all of that stuff. So clear plastic bags are a lifesaver with children in general, but yes, please, if you're going through security. And then Lorena, I want to throw out one quick thing, and then I'm going to probably have to jet because I've got family stuff. But as a former security guard, I was a security guard in college. Do not get angry at the messenger, please, people. I know it's hot. I know you're sticky. I know you probably got a crying toddler. They understand that. And even if they seem cranky too, just give them some grace. Give them some grace because in all honesty, they want you to be safe. The security guards are not your enemy, they're your friend. And it's so easy to see them as the bad guy and they're not. And that is one thing we've learned as a military family and as being prior security guard. Anytime an MP stops me, I'm always nice to them because they don't want to do it. They don't want to bug you. They don't want to make your life harder, but at the same time, they want to keep you safe. And I want my kids to be safe in the parks. And so even if it's inconvenient with little children to get stopped, please be patient, be kind, and be prepared. Just know it's going to be worse than TSA and be plan ahead. Plan ahead.
It so is. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much, Sam, for being here. You want to shout out your channel before you dip out?
Yeah. Okay. So I am a military podcaster. We cover topics that regard military and military life. Erica and I and some other military spouses do a panel where we talk about just different survival tactics. But the thing is, some of the things we do to survive the craziness of military life apply to regular people too. So come check it out. I also interview veterans. And I have some really great stories, some veterans. I got to interview a F-14 Rio pilot, and he talks about his experience having to respond to the barracks bombing in Lebanon, and also being stuck in getting caught in a midair collision and having to eject over in the just off of Puerto Rico and the whole experience. So there are some really amazing veterans who come on my channel and share their stories. So come check it out. Check me out. Erica joins me. I've got other military families and we have fun together. So it's Life of a Military Wife. I'm on YouTube. I'm on podcasts. Spotify, X, Facebook. Yeah, I'm everywhere.
Oh, well, she is awesome. Go check out
Thank
her
you.
channel. Hopefully one day I can get on her show just to kick it around. And,
Reina, you are welcome. I would love to have you on. We just need to schedule this.
Yes, let's make that happen sooner rather than later. Let's make that happen for real. Okay, Sam, have a great day. So good to see you, my dear. So good to see you. Let's see. Yep, you should have seen my backpack at the parks. I was ready for streaming. I was that efficient with my backpack. Yes, that's something that you learn to do. And just like Sam said, it's hot, it's tiring, it's a thankless job. So while you may not like what they ask you, just comply and do it. And if you have a question, there is a way to ask that question without pissing people off. Questioning to understand, not questioning to challenge. Be friendly, be assertive, be friendly, be assertive, be friendly. Remember that when you're there, because in case people do not understand or don't know or haven't seen this, not only is there undercover security that's there, I can pick them out, but most people can't pick them out. But if you're used to doing threat analysis, you can pick them out who they are.
I'm not saying a word.
Undercover. That'd be a fun job, doing undercover security at the parks. You just get paid to roam around the parks and just people watch.
I'm just
assess rooms and areas. That'd be fun.
You seem a little different. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who they are. Okay, walking on. But in addition, there's Orange County Sheriff's deputies there with canine units. So if security can't deal with it, they will call in OSO. And I have seen OSO being called into the parks on the regular. So if you think that you can cause a scene and nothing happen. No, OSO is there to subdue and arrest your ass. We do not play in the state of
And Disney won't hesitate to ban you. And their bans are not temporary. They ban you for life. And you can petition a couple of years down the road and basically beg to be able to come back to the parks. But yeah, so it's just comply.
Stores too, it covers. Some of their shopping centers, it actually covers the ban too.
Yeah, you do not want to have the term trespassed associated with you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and they'll find you. They are good at, if you try to come back, they are good at remembering your face and who you are.
Always watching. Always watching. That's my girl. I freaking loved Roz. I really did. Let's see. This post has struck a chord with many visitors, sparking a flood of comments, sharing similar stories and tips for dealing with the new security procedures. One user shared advice they received directly from security personnel. On our last trip, security advised us to take our sunglass cases, phones, and something else I can't remember, hold them in our hands, our arms outstretched like Mary Poppins, and walk through the scanner, and we likely wouldn't get stopped again. We didn't. Okay. This should work, but I'm going to tell you right now, it does not always, and it does not always work with every single security stop. I held out my gimbal. I held out my umbrella. I didn't have a sunglass case. I'm like, forget that about holding out my phone. I have one of the best things you can get. I swear to God, this is awesome. If you go to Walmart, I'm going cheap here. Go to Walmart or Target, get like workout pants that have the stretch fabric but have pockets on the side.
Oh,
those are real good. I have so many of those. They are so efficient. You can just put your phones in there and they can see what it is, and it's clear to the machine. So anytime I'm streaming, I'm wearing those. So that's why I have one phone on one side and a fan on the other side. It's efficient. And just Walmart is cheaper to get those at. But even when I did that, I still got stopped. Why? It can be metal, especially if you have a stainless steel water bottle. It can be, and I kid you not, it can be something as simple as you have a makeup case with a mirror that's attached with a magnet. Sometimes that can set it off. I had the wire in my sports bra set off the metal detector at the Contemporary on Monday. That's how I knew that they had amped up the security procedures, because I have never had that happen. And he's like wanding me and everything, and it's going off. It's like, yeah, you know exactly what it is. I haven't had that happen in the longest time. So while it's advised that you do that, especially sunglasses, usually if I have my fan, I'll like hold that out. That's so the stupid scanner can help figure out what's going on, and it's not exactly accurate all the time. Like I said, it can't tell the difference between your folded up gimbal and that you could possibly have a 22 in your bag. That's how dumb the darn scanner is. And how can I put this? Okay, yeah, I am going to put it like this. Sometimes you will get flagged randomly just to get flagged, and sometimes it's not especially random, but it's okay. I just do it. I let that happen. One time I had a whole security line opened because I walked up, because I had my nieces and nephew and camera girl with me, and they were just so embarrassed and put out with me. They're like, why isn't the security guy looking at your butt? I'm like, shut up. We got our own special line to get through security. You better be respectful. They were so embarrassed. They were so funny. I said, hey, we get through security fast, don't we? Get our own. Literally, there was a big line of people And Disney security, they said, "Oh, come on over here. We got a line opened up for you." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Thank you very much." Funny, but either way, it's not always guaranteed. So you want to lessen the chances of being pulled over. Hold out your your umbrella. They'll tell you to do this. Hold that out. That doesn't work. Again, make sure your stuff is packed accordingly. If you are part of Stroller Nation, okay, they are only going to let one parent or guardian with the stroller. The rest of the family has to go through the metal detector. So please understand that, so you don't get pissed off when you get there. They'll tell you that, but some people don't hear that because you're just trying to get through security and get to the park. So have a plan. If you're part of Stroller Nation, find out if it's mom or dad who's going to go through with the stroller with one of the kids in it, if you have one of the kids in it, the rest of the family to go through security, and where you are going to meet up. So you're not walking around aimlessly trying to figure out what the heck it is that you want to do. Have that planned out in advance. Trust me, you will be scores ahead of everyone else. Lessens your frustration. In the words of Wanda Sykes, if your ass ain't khaki, you ain't getting shit. Wanda used to be really funny back in the day, but the more woke she got, the more less funny she is. Man, this does sound worse than the TA say. It is. And do you know Orlando International Airport has one of the worst security lines. I used to think it was LAX, but LAX is a hellhole to begin with anyway. Orlando is worse. The only place worse than Orlando is Philadelphia. And imagine having to fly from Philly to Orlando, two
Newark.
screwed up places. Oh, yeah. See, I haven't been through Newark, so I can't give. I've heard stories. But the security in Orlando, you want to talk about somebody impatient, especially when I had a security clearance. Okay. And I'm just like, get your stuff together. It's like they could not route people right at all. And this is before the clear system. I didn't do that then, but it's a mess. So just be prepared. If you thought TSA was bad in Orlando at the airport, it's even worse when you get to the Disney parks. Yeah, it is. It is. And if you get on a bus, guess what? You're going through security again. So just that's just what happens. So let's see. Another annual pass holder chimed in with a practical approach they've adopted. I'm an annual pass holder who hates getting pulled over by security. Based on a couple of conversations with security personnel, it's based on the quantity of metal clumped together. Now I take everything metal and electronic out of my bag. Cell phone, sunglasses, keys, water bottle, Altoids, mint tin, umbrella, coin purse, and hold them in my hands with my arms outstretched in front of me like a zombie. I haven't gotten stopped once since I started doing that, because you're dumping everything out of your freaking purse.
Yeah.
That is
be easier, like you say, put them in Ziploc bags and just hold the Ziploc bag out with all your stuff in it instead of everything individually. And you're like this, holding multiple items.
Especially even if you put it in a Ziploc bag and hold it out, I'm telling you, these scanners that Disney has are dumber than a box of rocks sometimes.
I can't go into the scanner. I just can't. You don't want me to go down that rabbit hole.
I've even seen people use clear backpacks.
I hate those things with a passion.
I mean, I get it, but yeah, I've seen people go as far as just get those plastic clear backpacks or like backpack purses. Yeah. I mean, look, if you really want to take it to that extreme,
I know at some
choice,
I know at some sports stadiums they require that you have it. So I do know about that. And yeah, some people do it with the clear bags. I'm just like, I'm not sure. It depends on your comfort level. I don't like doing that.
Exactly.
I really, I don't like doing that. So I'm like, second, Second best thing, I'll put the stuff in Ziploc bags. And yeah, you may not like getting pulled over. You know what? Make some new friends in Disney security, especially if you're a pass holder and you're there all the darn time. I have fun talking to security. And sometimes I don't even have to talk. I have an anime backpack. They start talking automatically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, you just do it, just to do it. And I'll have, one of the Disney security guys say, oh, just hold this out and you don't have to go through the, I'm like, I'm not taking everything out of my darn purse because I have everything that will set it off. I'm just like, I'll just go through security. It's not a big deal. Again, they're not as efficient as Universal. And me, an outside looking in, me as someone who works in IT, when I see stuff like this and things don't work, and just how more often than not the scanners that they have get stuff wrong, I'm like, okay, something ain't right with that. While many appreciate the increased vigilance, some are skeptical about how effective the measures truly are. That may be, but it's not actually stopping armed guests from coming in. Source: I have been witness to multiple events where weapons have made it through the parks only for other cast members to find them and kick them out. House of Blues security is better than the parks for just a concert hall. I don't have a solution. I just wanted to throw in that they do all this stuff, but people still get through with prohibited items.
I will say,
The will is away.
Disney's security is inconsistent. They go through spells of, they're tightening up security, but then I have seen where it's just random and lazy. They're not really scanning everybody. They're not really checking everyone. They're just kind of like, or they won't even look in your bag really. They just kind of glaze over and okay, you're good. Um, it just depends on the day and it depends on the security guard or the group of guards or their supervisor who's on shift as their supervisor and telling them how strict to be or not to be. There is a lot of inconsistencies. And I've been noticing that over the years. So I'm kind of not surprised to hear that people have been able to sneak things in they're not supposed to. And I think this is where, and I haven't been to Universal in years. So Lorena, you can speak to that, comparing that inconsistency, because it seems like from what you've been saying, Universal, everyone goes through the scanners. It's not just like at random. It's more tight.
Even their workers go through scanners.
Mm-hmm. It's like everybody goes through. So when and Tom is right, like even the cast members have to go through security. They have their own security lane. So when you're headed towards City Walk, first of all, there's a big, huge hub that's there, whether you're going to Islands of Adventure, whether you're going to the studios, whether you're going to City Walk. And again, this is because Universal was built later than the Magic Kingdom. Everyone goes through security. Team members have their own security lines. Everyone's in this big group, and then they're split out by lanes. So there might be like everything maybe for like 5 that are open if it's very low, or all of them are open when there's so many people that are going in there. You put all your stuff, just like the airport, in bins. You take everything out, your phones, everything, all of that stuff. You take that out, put it in a bin, put it on the conveyor belt. You go towards the metal detector. If you have an Apple Watch, you got to cover that up too. That's another thing. You have to cover that up, and you go through there. Then while you wait for your bag, they're looking through the scanner. They've got like 2 people looking to see what's going on. If they have questions, they'll say, ma'am, or sir, can you go over here and look at this? You forgot to put your keys on the conveyor belt. Guess what? They give you a little, I call it the doggy bowl. Black, you put it in there and you go back through the security, but there's zero trust there. Everybody gets scanned, everybody gets their bags checked, and all of that gets pushed through. So they're not rerouting people into another bottleneck because the scanner was too stupid to figure stuff out. Oh, and you get wanded too if that's necessary, but that's as soon as you come right out of the scanner, if it sets it off, and they'll wand you. And if they have to go back through there, they'll have you go back through there
And
again.
also, you get some people with the diabetic testing things on their arm. They've been setting them off sometimes too.
Mm.
So I've seen people tell the security, "Hey, I have one of these on." They have you cover that. You walk through, and sometimes it beeps. So just run their wand over it because it can fry them. So it's
Mm-hmm.
medical device, then I'll fry it.
Yeah. So, yeah, and that's a good point. You have like medical devices, stuff like that. You know, make sure to let them know when after you get scanned, it goes off, and secondary scanning at Disney. But those types of things can happen. I think there's certain things that cannot go through a scanner, if I remember correctly. I can't remember exactly what, but I know some things can't, so they have to be like hand inspected. Let's see. I read a story that someone got busted trying to sneak in a bunch of cocaine in their wallet. I wonder if they're trying a new policy. Coke getting smuggled into the parks is not a new phenomenon.
No, I imagine that happens a lot over the years. Not condoning it, but it's just an addict's gonna be an addict,
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how much can you actually. I don't know. I'm just saying, not condoning anything. It's like cocaine in your wallet. That's where you're gonna put it. You're an
I don't
amateur.
even know how they would disguise it in a wallet. I'm just, yeah, I don't.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I have done stories, like I said, of people who put cocaine in a diaper, in a kid's diaper. They've done that, but they've always been sneaking contraband into
Drugs.
into the park. Yes, drugs.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's everywhere, anywhere and everywhere. Even airports, you have security on guard for that kind of stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Being the pack mule, yeah, I've had that happen. I get pulled for a search of my backpack about 50% of the time. I've kind of learned to choose from umbrellas. Sometimes they take everything out, and sometimes they just rummage. They never even touch my wallet. Yes, that's usually the case with me. They just take stuff out and look at it. But again, if it's like a large wallet, like Erica's saying, and we're talking about, it looks like a clutch. Yeah, that's a little suspect, because if you see mostly people coming through with small wallets, or small, like a wallet, like like a man would have, or if it's like a small wallet that like a lady would have, something that's out of the norm, that's
Like a
definitely going to get on the radar.
There's a lot, like a crossbody. There's a lot of crossbody wallets where you can, like you say,
Yes.
fit more than just it's flat, and it's got a thin strap, because people will get lockers. They'll put all their big items in a locker and then do the part with like their crossbody, and it can be like this, and it fits, I guess, whatever it is they just want to fit for the time that they're there. Usually your frequent visitors do that. They don't really need the bulky backpacks with everything all day, I mean, unless you've got medical stuff and that's needed. But folks like our family, we can get away with not really having a large backpack, technically, even though I still pack even though I still pack a large backpack.
My theme park commando days, yeah, I had everything, because
Yeah.
you're like the Pac-Man. You have everything, like the snacks, all the water bottles, all bandages, all the stuff. But as like a local, I don't bring a whole lot, so I usually have a smaller bag. Kiss my grits. Thank you so very much for that $20 super chat. Let's see. Let's hit you up with, of course, my favorite news. This is pathetic.
Join in, folks. It's yodeling time. Here at Lester's
Elephant green screen effect.
I will never let them freaking forget that. Not ever, 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 freaking ever. Let's see. I wish Disney would offer APs the opportunity to have a limited number of day passes to resort pools like Yacht and Beach. I would even pay extra. Most resorts near Disney, Gaylord, Evermore, and Hilton Buena Vista offer this.
I did not
Really?
know that.
That would be
That's
nice.
huh. I didn't know. Now I'm gonna look into that. Gaylord, Evermore, Hilton Buena Vista. And they offer this to annual pass holders or anybody.
Or is it, yeah, that's a good point. Because I could see
Huh.
offering that to like everybody, especially as it gets them to the resort so they can check it out. The Hilton Buena Vista is one of my favorites because it's right there on Hotel Plaza Boulevard. I've stayed there and you can get like your Hilton points. I think you also get extra magic hours benefits
It's over
there.
in the Disney Springs area, like it's on property, one of their partner hotels.
Yeah, it's literally right across the street from Disney Springs. So Hotel Plaza Boulevard, a lot of people aren't familiar with Hotel Plaza Boulevard. If you don't want to pay Disney hotel prices, which you usually don't unless it's the value resorts, the Good Neighbor hotels are on Hotel Plaza Boulevard. Those were built, or that whole place, that whole area established before Disney had their own hotels up and running. So if you want to stay somewhere that's right there, right there on Disney property, but you want certain amenities and like your loyalty points and all of that, there's, two Hiltons that are there. There's the Hilton Buena Vista. There is the DoubleTree. I've stayed at both of those. DoubleTree reminds me of the Contemporary. There's a new Drury Inn and Suites that they built. That is
That one's
flipping
nice.
gorgeous. It's
Yeah,
so gorgeous.
that one looks nice. And
Yeah.
you also get the some of these hotels, don't they offer the extra hours, or is that only strictly for those deluxe Disney resorts?
It's only for the deluxe resorts and it's only for
Okay.
Hilton. So you have to
Okay.
stay at the Hilton Buena Vista. I don't know if it applies to the Hilton Bonnet Creek, but I think it does to the Ritz-Carlton. Those are the Four Seasons. I think it applies to the Ritz-Carlton as well. I'm gonna have to check on that. But I know the Hilton Buena Vista definitely has extra magic hours because whenever I was trying to decide if I wanted to stay at the Hilton or if I was going to stay at the at Pop Century or Art of Animation, usually I'd stay at Art of Animation, but the Hilton was a definite backup. They've got park views. Their rooms are amazing, so I recommend them as well. Hey, Nita says, love the hotels at Disney Springs. I like Wingate right next to Disney Springs for great views of Disney Springs. Yeah, nice. Well, thank you, Kiss My Grits, for that super chat. I sure do appreciate that, my dear. Thank you. And he says, it's just offered to everyone. You can buy a pass to use their pools. There's a limited number of passes available per day. Okay, that's good because it's like they have some that's just limited.
That's cool.
I'll have to check that out because the Gaylord is amazing. It's
I've never been there. I've always wanted to go, and I've never been there.
It's right off of Osceola Parkway.
Mhm.
So literally, you can take Osceola Parkway off of park property, and boom, there's a Gaylord, which is huge.
There's a
huge hotel.
Marriott hotel over by the SeaWorld area. I mean, and honestly, they're just as expensive as staying at a deluxe resort at Disney. They're not cheap, but they have got, I swear, the largest theme and very elaborately, beautifully themed, what do you call it? Lazy river I have ever laid eyes on for a hotel. I would gladly throw down money just to get into that pool. I probably wouldn't even leave the hotel. It's one of those resorts where it's all about the hotel, and all their amenities, and it's beautiful. Everything about that hotel is gorgeous.
That sounds like the the Marriott World Center that has like been there forever as far as I'm concerned. I went to before they moved the Holiday Matsuri from the Marriott to the Orange County Convention Center. That hotel is gorgeous. Freaking absolutely gorgeous. My wife used to be a demi chef at the Gaylord Opryland. I think that's the Mother Hotel, I think. Is the one in Opryland, but the Gaylord is gorgeous at Christmas. It's absolutely amazing with the ice show and everything that they have over there. It's so Christmassy when you go over there. What no love for the hotels out on US 192. Not of late. I mean, back in the day,
hotels?
it back in the day, they had, reputable hotel chains, but it went to freaking pot. And now it's like the scene of the crime hotel. You couldn't pay me to stay
Yeah.
at 192 anymore.
So in terms of 192, we have stayed at the Red Lion Inn. And though when you go there, you can tell the class of people are definitely your construction workers that are in the local area. They're an interesting group of consumers, but the hotel itself is clean, very clean. The water pressure is good. The rooms are nice. We've
Water
never had an issue.
pressure.
And you can walk across the street if you don't get hit by a car. First, two, I think, is it Perkins? I think is right next door. If Perkins is even still there.
Oh yeah, I remember the Perkins. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on that side. So, and yeah, it is cheap, I will say. And for the money, it is a nice hotel. It's very clean. It's relatively new. So when we're really on a budget, that's typically where we go. And we don't go for like days and days at a time. We're talking like we'll spend either just one night or 2 nights, you know.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
the
No, I
it's
have
the
stayed on one.
no-tell motel. Yeah, the no-tell
I've
motel rented
I've
by
stayed at some of those roach motels. It's bad.
by the hour, but another similar but sad note, there's a lot of hotels there that you can pay by the week, and there's
Yeah.
quite a few Disney cast members who have to
Yeah.
live there because that's the only thing really that they can afford. So
Yeah.
it's really sad because it used to be just nice where middle class folks could stay and the hotels were nice and relatively clean. My parents had a timeshare back there, but yeah, 192 has gone to hell on a rocket. It's nowhere
That's sad.
near, and it's a shame because it used to be like one of those places where if you were middle class or even if you weren't middle class, you could stay there relatively cheap and have a good
Mhm.
time. And no love for Fun Spot. Fun Spot has the
No,
best
no.
go-karts. It has the best go-karts.
Okay.
Their
I like
go-kart.
Old Town,
I
but
do
I
like
grew
Old
up
Town.
going there. We grew up going there and getting like the 5-cent Pepsis, and you would get the deposit, if you
Mhm.
wanted to keep your little small glass. And it always had like the vintage logo, and they had the vintage photography. I don't even think that's there anymore. It was just a fun little day trip. And we were in high school. We loved going there because they would have car shows like on Fridays or Saturdays. And I know they
Mhm.
still do the car shows.
Yeah, they still
Um,
do.
and it was just a fun little small strip,
Mhm.
little touristy shops you honestly find in places like Tarpon Springs and even like in a beach town
Mhm.
type of merch you would find there.
There's an anime store that's over there too in Old Town. It's called Mini Queens and Kings. It's really small, but if you want your hit of anime, you can go. There's a couple other anime shops that I've been to that are in Orlando, but that one because it's in
Mm.
Old Town, I actually like that one a bit better because it's actually got real anime stuff and not just like 3D printed crap. But I'll save that for another
Yeah.
another video. It's just most of us stayed in those cheap hotels back in the day. They were more cleaner by Old Town when we were going to Disney. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's so many memories. We stayed at, let's see, I think it used to be a Holiday Inn, Main Gate. Now I don't know, it's something I don't recognize now, but I remember staying there, you know. Let's see, this last one before we go to another say ride operational or not operational updates from Disney. One visitor recalled an uncomfortable encounter with a security guard during their recent visit. Then again, this is Reddit. Take it with a grain of salt. Last visit to Hollywood Studios earlier this month, I got through clean and my 9-year-old son got dinged. When I started to get back in the line with him, he tried to stop me. I responded politely that I was just going to stand with my son, and he still refused. One more polite and 2 more stern objections, and he still tried to refuse. Only after I told him to summon a supervisor and a uniformed law enforcement officer did he finally back off. This sounds a little bit of Karen overload.
Yeah.
Because
like a helicopter parent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like your kid is fine, just let him go through. If you're at the airport and your kid's got to go through that, just let him go through it.
Yeah, you just let him, go through.
They're going to guide him and tell him what to do, and your kid's just going to follow what he's told to do, just like the rest of us. I mean, it's not rocket science.
Could be.
For some of these people, it is. It's like, okay, so you go through the security checkpoint, your son got dinged. Okay. That if he got dinged, he should have went over to secondary screening, and you can stand in the waiting area and wait for them, unless your child has special needs or something like that, which I'm pretty sure that you could politely explain and they would understand.
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused here because you don't walk through the scanner twice. You only walk through the scanner once.
Mm-hmm.
And I think no, they did this after Camera Girl was much older. They didn't have that when she was younger to go through security. But I know at the airport, I was like, if we get, actually, I didn't want to go through the scanner. I requested a pat down by a female TSA agent, and the same thing, like my daughter got pulled over. And I said, my daughter has special needs. What are you going to do? And they're like, okay, well, since you're the parent, come over and you can kind of explain what's going on. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I made that known. So I'm a little bit suspect about this particular post. Again, you can say anything on Reddit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's a little weird. And like, why would you want to get a supervisor and a uniformed law enforcement officer? That is,
I mean, that would scare your kid even more when you think about it.
Exactly.
You're only gonna, that's just, and you're talking like not even 5 minutes. They do the wand, empty out his pockets or look into his bag, done.
And I've seen
spend more time arguing,
Yeah.
and in the time that you're arguing, you would already be in the park, free already. Your kid would already been cleared. You'd be halfway up to wherever your destination.
And I've seen plenty of parents with their kids at a security checkpoint when they got pulled over. You got
to teach your kids, that this is a reality of the real world. This is how the adult world works. This is what we all have to encounter, and it's going to be like that when you're an adult too. You kind of want to have a sense of it is what it is. Welcome to the outside world.
Exactly. And I got to say, the Disney security guards are very personable with the kids. Like with one, with a couple of times when Camera Girl got, they had to do secondary screening, they look like at her outfit, and she had her Cinderella costume on, and he's just like, "Princess, I'm so sorry to make you late for work, but we got to make sure that that you're all secured and everything, and Maleficent hasn't done anything to to your nice bag and stuff like that." They're usually very personable with the kids to make it a positive, safe experience for them. So yeah, this is a straight up Karen fest. I'm sorry if that wasn't it's total Karen. There's no freaking way you'd wind up doing that. Let's see. Hey, security checks are the only feel ups I get to Nita's so funny. I love you, girl. Akido says, I noticed more people are doing the vacation houses instead of hotels if you're there for a week. It depends on what you want to do. I'm a hotel girl. I like to party like a rock star. I do not want to have to make my bed. I do that enough at home. No, I don't. So I usually stay at a
I don't make
hotel,
my bed anyways.
tip a lot of money, and that's pretty much what I would do. However, I do know about the vacation houses. If you have a lot of people, that's a very viable thing to do, especially in some of these subdivisions. Now, where I live, the HOA said hell to the freaking no. You can't do that. In our neighborhood, but there's others that are closer to Disney where they have these houses that can house like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, and you can rent them out. I think you can even rent them out directly on TripAdvisor as well. So that's a very that's an industry that's been around for quite some time with renting out these vacation homes. A lot of them are themed, like Harry Potter, Disney. I stayed at one of these. My sister booked one, and it was really nice. It was like a 2-level house. It was nice, lots of room to stay there. So that is always an additional thing that you can do. My mom was just like, I'm not cooking nothing. So we're staying at a hotel.
Yeah, it just depends on what you want to walk away with on your vacation.
Yeah.
Sometimes we stay at a hotel just because, it's an experience in itself. But I would say 98% of the time we stay at a single family home there in the area because we like the idea of a private pool. Not having to worry about people looking at me or people just being weird in bathing suits. It's Florida, so doing weird stuff in pools. It's just nice to have a private pool.
Yes.
I don't mind cooking sometimes, sometimes, it's been expensive, even eating off property. We're on a budget too, and we come into town to visit. So it's like, okay, we really want to go eat at these restaurants, but to afford these restaurants we like to go to, we also need to kind of eat and we're constantly robbing Peter to pay Paul in that way. And then we've got family there. So it's who wants to go out to eat or where are we going, together as a family to cook. Now, I will say the neighborhoods, you got to be careful. There are rules because these vacation homes are in the middle of actual residents that live there. They go to work, they pay their bills, their kids go to school. You're in an actual neighborhood. And they don't want parties. They don't want a lot of loud noises. So, I would say by 9 p.m., whatever you're doing outside in the patio, bring it inside. And because it's just out of respect for the residents that actually live there. And whenever we've had family over in some of those homes, we're eating by like 3, 4 o'clock. We're swimming, but everyone's gone by like 8, 9 o'clock. And it's just our immediate family. But our circumstance is different. However, I've always loved the idea of a private pool, and it's just close enough to the parks, yet just far enough away. And you're not paying the crazy Disney prices or theme park prices. Sometimes it's just nice, and if you kind of feel like you're living there when you're not, it's kind of weird, whatever.
Well, especially the holidays, because that's the one time we did rent a house was around Christmas. So it was nice to have like a house that was decorated, and we brought like decorations, and then all the other houses were decorated for Christmas. So that's a big thing in the South, because you can just go outside and walk around and see all the Christmas decorations. You're not bundled
Nice.
up in a heavy jacket or something like that. But that's what people like to do, especially visiting from like the Northeast or the extreme north. That's like the thing. You get a vacation house, you're down there for Christmas, you've got on like just a light sweater and like a mug of hot chocolate and take a picture saying wish you were here. that type of thing. But yeah, the houses are definitely in demand during the holidays. But like Erica said, you have to do the math and find out what's important to you, what you want to give up, what you don't want to give up. If you want to vacation like a quasi, local, where you're there, you're at a house, as opposed to, being at a hotel. So it all
They also
depends.
have gorgeous hotels in the area too. Like I have a whole list of them I'd love to stay at. It's just mostly time, because we come in once a year to once every other year. It just depends. And
Mhm.
some of the hotels we've stayed at have been really nice. And you don't want to cook. You don't, if you've got the money to just kind of do the real vacation thing where, you can rely that the hotel food is good and they kind of pamper you a little bit, by making your beds, and there may be some room service, just depending on the hotel. Yeah. I mean, I'm the first one to be like, yeah, sure. If we can afford it, let's do it.
Mhm.
Um,
Sometimes you just want the house where you can just roll to the
mm.
Trader Joe's and the Publix and load up like there's no
Oh, we've done
tomorrow.
both. Like we've rented a house for an entire month, but then on the side
Mhm.
have stayed at a hotel. Just be, I know it's kind of expensive, but but we budget for this stuff in advance too. We don't just fork it out like at one time.
Exactly. So two things real quick before we wrap up the stream. So this is from Drew the Disney Dude. Cool dude. Met him a couple times. Magic Kingdom reservations are no longer available for annual pass holders on July 20th for the official debut of Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away. Beginning July 20th, pass holders visiting the Magic Kingdom must have a theme park reservation due to the anticipated high demand. And you notice my comment down here. It'll be interesting to see just how long this anticipated high demand holds out.
Yep,
Uh,
I'm wondering the same thing.
yeah, I think it's a really skunky move to do that. I think that Disney should have taken a page out of Universal's book and had a VIP section just for pass holders to check out the parade. I think it
But you
sucks
can't
that
make
they're
money doing that.
No, but they can't monetize on that.
that's
They'd rather you
right.
pay for the freaking dessert party.
Yeah, they want you to
$100 a pop.
pay for the ticket. They want to
150.
make room for, the folks who are going to pay the day rate. And like you folks were saying, pay for the expensive dessert party that's like $100 a pop, starting with, kids under 10. That's what you're going to pay. That's what they want to monetize. And I think that they are making this parade to be much more of a big deal than it really is, forgetting that we have YouTube, so we already know what it looks like in Japan. It looks freaking awesome in Japan. But with this particular parade, they're dropping in stuff from Wish and Encanto and some IPs we don't give a crap about, really, that aren't like core Disney. So I think first 2 weeks or so, yeah, people are going to want to see it. But after that, it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I think they're just like you folks, just like you guys were saying, Erica and Tom, they just want to monetize it first. But I don't see demand sticking up here, especially given, where the parade route starts, right?
Frontierland.
Yes. What's going on in Frontierland pretty soon?
Walls,
Nothing but
walls
construction.
everywhere.
All that construction. Who wants to see a
I
parade
mm.
with all of that stuff going on? I yeah, I'm just I'm just saying. Oh yes, I love I have so fond memories of Spectrum Magic.
Me too.
I do. I love the music. And yes, Tokyo does it better. Tokyo, that's where that
Mhm.
parade is, and we've seen the videos on this show, what it looks like. And I really do not trust Disney to import the
You know,
same thing over to here.
I think, do you really think 4th of July is gonna be full at Magic Kingdom this year?
No.
Because, I have a hard time believing that, and I think that honestly will gauge what the attendance is gonna be like for the Starlight thing, because if it's not even gonna be full for 4th, then what makes Disney think there's just gonna be this massive crowd that just shows up magically, for a night parade? I don't
I
know.
I don't think so. I agree with you, Erica, because here's the thing that tipped me off about low demand. I'm able to get into the park 4th of July weekend with with my annual pass. Last year, I was not able to. So that kind of tells me that there's definitely availability, especially considering all the discounts that Disney has been offering during the July 4th holiday. That's like unheard of because that's high season for tourism. Already people are coming into town for the July 4th holiday, and the Magic Kingdom still looks like a ghost town. I've never seen it that low ever.
It
It
was
is.
low attendance in 2023. We
Mhm.
were leaving just, we left, I think on the 4th because we changed our flight, and w I remember the reports coming back that the attendance just dipped. It was like that revenge travel just ended, and I looked at Raph and I was like, "Oh, I guess we should have done this, like, graduation vacation. We should have done it in July or August." I don't even know why we bothered with June because the attendance just bloop, and it's been in that state since then,
Yeah. I've
for the summer
never.
attendance. The summer attendance has always been shoulder to shoulder. You can't see the floor. You
Mhm.
can't see in between people. It is just the crowds are so tight. You can't move. You can't breathe.
None.
Um, and it has not been that way. At least since 2023, from my observation, because I went 23, we went 24,
Mhm.
and of course we're not going to make it probably in 25 this year.
All of my years of going, it is unnaturally low at the Disney parks, and especially the Magic Kingdom. Because remember, you would have to brace yourself in the summer for like the ocean of humanity you would run into on Main Street. I'll have to get it next time. But I have a picture, a selfie that I took of myself for Christmas. I want to say 5 years ago, 6 years ago, on Main Street. Took this picture. It is nothing but people. You cannot see the street because it's that many people
Mhm.
that are there,
Yep.
and it's scary. It's like a ghost town at the Magic Kingdom now, and rides shutting down, which is really weird. The night we went on Monday, because that's what happened, because Pirates of the Caribbean, that was crazy. Let's see. Space Mountain has shut down because something was wrong with that. That was shut down. Um, the Haunted Mansion had shut down for mechanical problems. So everyone was going over to Pirates of the Caribbean instead. And it was just insane. I mean, we're talking 10 minutes to get on It's a Small World. That's basically your run in to get down the ramp and everything. Peter Pan's flight, 60 minutes in the summer.
Mhm.
And no, usually that could be like 90 minutes to 2 hours if the park is
Yep.
completely slammed. Space Mountain, 45 minutes before it shut down. I've never seen that. And in the summer, I'm used to triple digits when it comes to the triple digits for Splash Mountain, triple digits for Big Thunder Mountain, triple digits for Space Mountain, near triple digits for Peter Pan's Flight, all of that stuff. But now it's literally like a ghost town. But do you think that this is gonna fix things? Test Track 3.0 is going to be opening up. So this is the full ride through, courtesy of Ride Rover over there on X. So
I think the new look on the cars is pretty cool. I do like that.
yeah, I do like that. The seatbelt check is still there.
Yeah. This here,
Although
I can see where they kind of took from Rule of Motion right here.
I
It's not
love
the
Rule of
same, but
Motion.
whatever.
Mm-hmm. I heard they took out the build your own vehicle, which I
The
kind
what?
of missed. They took out the build your own vehicle. It used to be that you could put your own vehicle
Oh yeah, I
together.
never did that. I
Because
found
that
it lame,
way,
so I just always skipped it. Well, we always did single rider because we were like, nah.
see, I'm a nerd. So, like engineering little nerds like me, we would like play with the aerodynamics of what the car would look like, and you get the performance stats of it. So that was like kind of cool. So I'll miss it. It's like, I get it. I get it. You kind of have to be a gearhead or an engineering nerd to like you really, really want to do that.
When I was watching the
Most
video,
boys want to do that.
and
Most boys want to do that. Build cars, vehicles.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Christian did like that. He enjoyed it, but he's a cars guy. He loves
Like
cars. He likes
stretch it
anything with
out, put
wheels.
the spoiler on it, calculate the drag. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool. Feels kind of Tron-ish to me.
Yeah. They
I'm not saying it's bad,
should have put it in
but
Tron. We were supposed to see the grid. We did not see the grid.
yeah, you kind of feel like you're in a grid with some of this, like right there.
Yeah, I
Kind of
like
seems like
this.
it too.
Do you get to go through the cold room and the hot room?
Okay, no, they took that out, but this reminds me of Spaceship Earth. This part here, going
Kind
through the
of
garage.
does. There's a smart car.
So this is where that you would have had the cotton hot and cold room like years ago.
Mhm. I like the diagnostic panels.
Yeah, Moon Rover, Mars Rover.
Mm-hmm.
It's an Indy car.
Okay, this looks
And then
familiar.
Yeah. And this is where you get what the concept art showed us being in the outdoor highway.
Mhm.
Ah.
So it's like ET meets cars.
Okay, that's what was missing. I was wondering. I'm like, I don't know how to quite describe this. Yeah. ET meets cars. Yeah.
Just
I'd
kind
agree
of
with that.
rolling through the practical road test because you go from the
Mm.
concept to okay,
Still
they
get
kept
truck.
the truck.
They kept the truck.
Kept the truck.
That's been there since the beginning.
FYI, there's the same truck gag that's over in the Spider-Man attraction at Universal, and Stan Lee
Oh, I didn't
is
know
driving a
that.
truck. Yes.
That's
Now
kind
you're
of
in the
cool. I do
future.
kind of like this. This is interesting. Yeah.
That
And
is
then you go
cool.
outside.
And then you go outside where through the laws of physics, they fool you into thinking you're going faster than you really are. That's why
Yeah.
you bank once. I think you bank 3 times. Bank again. And then, okay. Okay, so it's twice. Okay. That is a trick of physics. I actually had to do this as a problem in physics class when I was in high school. We actually did that. We're just like, why does it seem they're just like the trick is the velocity factor is what changes. Your speed doesn't really, it's a trick, because if it just went straight, nothing would change. But that's why they bank you. That's why they, make you go in a circle, because that's a trick. You're going faster when you're going up an embankment than getting thrown around. It's a whole physics problem. It's really nerdy. I need a whiteboard to actually go out and show you. But we actually, as a kid in high school, that was an actual problem that we used. And that's one of the things that I loved about going to Epcot, which was edutainment, where we could take an attraction like Test Track and use it as an actual physics problem. So we had like where the cars were going, how fast they were going, depending on how many people were in the car, how fast it was going to go, not going to go, how fast it was going when it was in a straightaway, how fast it was going when it, hit a banked up on a curb, how fast it was going when it got all the way around that circular part. And it was cool stuff like that. They did a good job with 3.0 versus 2.0. This is a good thing about being sponsored. Yeah, I was a little worried about this, but now that I've seen it, I'm quite happy with it. It's cute. I'm looking forward to it.
I like the outdoor area. It's more open, and it does have more of the World of Motion aesthetic on the exterior. I wasn't sure how much more of World of Motion they were going to put into the attraction. That's what I was curious or what elements from World of Motion are they going to put in the attraction, or is it just the exterior? So it was just the exterior of the building. And that one little area where you could see the cars, because on World of Motion, the ride vehicles would go outside and coil up.
Yeah.
And it had a really cool aesthetic, which is why I loved World of Motion, because it was just so different. And I've never seen an attraction like that ever again. It was like one of a kind, and it sucks that they took it out. Nothing against Test Track; it's a fun attraction, but World of Motion was just like in its own league. It seemed like
World of Motion was it's one of those things, especially like as a kid, if you were into like engineering and science and stuff like that, World Motion, you would just nerd out. I drove my family nuts, because when that first opened, I'm like, that's where we're going. And I'm taking notes of like everything that they, they had, out there. So,
you mentioned of the wheel, and they had the little cartoons, like the cartoon shorts. It's funny because some of those cartoon shorts they showed on the Disney Channel. They put those little cartoon shorts for like the invention of the wheel, how it got, they put that in the attraction. It was just so cool. It was just this perfect Disney touch that was just classic Disney. And that's what I miss. I do.
Yeah,
I miss that.
do.
But
I do too. There's just so much stuff that Disney did back in the day that, because I wanted to be an Imagineer, and you go and you see like all of this stuff. Like one of the concepts was putting things together and disassembling them, seeing how they work, putting them back together better. It was like all of these things. Let's put it this way. Epcot used to be so focused on edutainment. I know some people who got out of school for a week, and as long as they did some kind of paper presentation, whatever it is,
it was excused.
That was educational. It was excused, and that's what they would do.
The county that we lived in, Hillsborough County, the schools, the county would only approve Epcot for Disney field trips because it was the educational park. But the county wouldn't approve any other. Well, now it's different. Now they're going to Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom. Mostly Animal Kingdom seems to be the trend lately, or where schools are going. Which, I mean, there's education there too with animals, the environment, and all that. But Epcot was just different back in the day. You kind of felt like you were at a World's Fair, like an old school World's Fair from like the 1960s.
Yep.
And I don't think I didn't appreciate it in that way until I got older, and I realized, whoa, Horizons, World of Motion, Universe of Energy, the original was good. Though it was kind of the least. World of Motion was my number one. Horizons was second, and then Universe of Energy was my third. And I hated Living Seas. I don't know why. I just as a kid didn't like it.
Really?
Just I hated it. I don't know why. I was just a funny kid. It was boring. I just wasn't into fish life. Wasn't in the marine.
I kept looking for the dolphins. So I'm like, we're gonna have the dolphins do the trick. Yeah, dolphins can kill sharks. Yeah. Maybe you can see if we get the dolphins to kill the shark. I was such a weird child. But yeah, there were so many things to like stoke your interest, especially if you were a kid. And that's what Walt Disney wanted with that whole World's Fair concept, to see what's going on, where you could take technology. And if you look at like a lot of the sitcoms from like the 90s, there are so many jokes in there about people going to Epcot, coming back from Epcot and like asking their science teachers all kinds of questions. She's like, man, really? First day of school, did this work? Did this work? Is this possible? Is this possible? It's funny because like with Mission Space, as far as I'm concerned, if you didn't do the Vomit Comet mission, you did not do Mission Space right. That's the orange mission with the 0G and everything. And some kid was like, well, how do they do that? And I'm just like, shut up. You don't want to spoil the magic. I could explain it to you, but I'm not going to explain it to you because it's like I could figure out how it works. I know how it works, but I don't linger in how it works because I love that magic of you just feel freaking weightless. And like, how do they do that? Don't worry about it. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. I tell you, I'm going on there with some crazy people at launch. And have you been on Tom, have you been on Mission Space? I don't think you can, right?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
Not
I've been
more. Not no more.
Yeah, I've been on Mission Space with the with all the G forces and everything. You get crazy people like me, and they're just like, "Did you guys want to be pilots when you were kids?"
Christian loves
I
Mission
wanted to
Space.
go on that thing. There's so many rides I would do in a heartbeat, but
that was the coolest. When Mission Space opened, so many of us went to go do that. We're just like, this is a great, the slingshot you do around the moon. I know it was back in the day. I think was it Mission to Mars? Was it?
Yeah, it was Mission to Mars when it first opened.
Yeah, you get to experience
I haven't been on it since they changed it.
Yeah, I
haven't been
went
on
there
the
once, and it was
Marina,
cool.
we gotta hit this Kennedy Space Center.
Yes, we do. I haven't been there I haven't been there.
They did
I haven't been there since I worked there when they cleaned the Saturn V rocket. I'm like, what is that? And they said, oh yeah, they cleaned it up.
And I'll talk to you later about maybe we can get in.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. I told my nephew that I would take him there.
That would be a good live though too.
Yeah, it would be. I haven't been there like in the longest time. Well, let's see. Well, who would know that? I think because it was more under the radar, honestly.
Yeah, well,
and sponsorship as well.
Didn't GM sponsor it?
It came.
Yes.
Yeah.
It came GM. They're the ones that paid for it. Yeah, and worked with Imagineering, but it wasn't Imagineering all alone working. So that's the difference.
Because that was Uncle Walt's hustle, for lack of a better term. I give him credit for that. Get that sponsorship, so it's not all your money; it's somebody else's money, too. Because the joke when
Disney struggled financially, he was always struggling for his ideas to be financed, for anything to really. So yeah, he had to come up with creative ways for this company to keep it afloat financially. And I guess that's why they felt forced to have to go public, because they just couldn't. They couldn't do it like on their own.
Could you picture if Walt was making what they just paid Iger?
I
yeah,
can't
the layoffs, and now he got a 30% raise.
That's
and they're yeah, I know.
I don't think I could see Walt ever doing it.
No,
No,
Not
he
not at
was
all.
always about Walt cared for his employees. He
Well, it's
cared
the
for
part
quality of
that
life and
you know,
paying them
that
enough where they could even afford a mortgage.
And that was the thing about getting a job at Disney at that
Mhm.
point in time. People they could live like they had really good livelihoods. Like people who they were like 20, 30, 40, 40 years. And that was like a point of pride for them. Like one guy said, I just want to drive the monorail. And he was able to do that and build a living. Like that's
Mhm.
all I do is, I drive the monorail around. But you're absolutely right. Walt treated his employees like family, which is why he got pissed when the animators wanted to do a union. But that's exactly what he would do, and he used to give his brother Roy so many headaches. I read like the autobiographies and everything, and Walt's like, I got
Yeah.
this idea for this part in
Well, he
in
was a
in
starving
Florida.
artist. He
Yeah, he's
was
like,
very much the creative brain and didn't care about the money. I mean, the guy,
yeah,
like, put up all of his personal assets just for Snow White. Like, you wanna talk about willing to go broke for
he
your
was.
art? I mean, the guy was willing to do that. That says a lot. That says a lot for where he was at. Um, we don't have a whole lot of that nowadays, you
No.
know?
That was a gamble, and he told like I'll wrap it up with this. Like he told his brother Roy, yeah, I want to have this park in Florida, because Anaheim was just like run over. It's like 192, but that's why you have 192. 192
Yeah.
before it became 192 was like Catella Avenue, in front of Disneyland. You turn and
Yeah.
boom, there's Disneyland. But he said, I want to make this park. I want to put this park in Florida. And Roy's like, in the middle of the swamp. I'm
And the
paraphrasing. It's like,
swamp?
yes,
Even the banks were like, yeah, no, we're
a
not gonna
swamp.
give you
there
money for that." But he figured it out. He got his way.
It's like,
He got the banks to,
he he did. And who helped him
he
was
was
Roy.
able to get
He's
them
like,
to
well, how
pay.
are we gonna do this? Walt's like, told Roy, well, that's your problem to get the money. I have the vision. You have to get the money. It's like, well, how are we gonna do that? Well, it's like, you got to get the folks from the Northeast to come down here. And that's when they were building I-95, because they knew that if
Mhm.
they connected it and made it a thing, again, because we grew up with that, you live in the Northeast. Guess where you're going every summer? You want to go every summer. Disney.
Yeah.
Everything catered to that. Walt even bought interest in the top 5 markets in the US, including the Northeast, all the ABC affiliates, Philadelphia, New York, Boston. All we got was Disney blasted
Yep.
at us 24/7 so they could
And it was to
pull.
promote the Disney products. It was to promote the entertainment because the entertainment was supposed to help promote the park or
Mhm,
parks, I should say. Yeah, it's like one
absolutely.
helped the other. It was genius for back then.
Totally, totally genius. I mean, out of the CIA playbook, how they got the land, but completely genius how they did it and how they set it up. And honestly, I do believe one of the things that just wound up taking Roy Disney away prematurely is because hey Bosco, he wanted to see his brother's dream of his park in Florida come true. And Roy
Yeah.
Disney worked overtime. That's why I always tell people, everyone knows the partner statue of like Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse in front of the castle. But when you
Mhm.
walk into Main Street, USA at Walt Disney World, and you go to where the flagpole is,
Yep.
go see
See
that
Roy,
bench with Roy and Minnie Mouse and the
Minnie Mouse.
placard
Mhm.
that's there, because he truly made sure that his brother's dream of that park in Florida came true. And that was a lot of darn work. You just want to talk about terraforming? That's exactly
Yeah.
what they did here. Just absolutely, absolutely amazing. But now you got the spirit of Walt Disney over at Epic Universe. It's not an understatement. Okay, it's it's
Mm.
it's really not. It's really not at all. But as usual, time flies on this show. Erica, what you got going on? Let's folks know about. Where you
Yeah, I
gonna?
should have a lot going on, but I don't. Yeah, same thing every day. just stream surfing wherever I get invited. So all of your streams, for the most part, the Resort Recon, Spice Lounge, and Florida Man Sundays, as I can make it with Christian's work schedule. And sometimes on Pro, sometimes that Park Place, T3PO for sure every week. So that's kind of where I'm
Awesome.
bouncing around.
Awesome. Everyone thought he was nuts. Orlando Land paid our college. Yeah. Yeah, it was just Orange Groves and I guess Nixon made it possible for the airport. It used to be what was it? McCarran Airport used to be military airfield. That's why Orlando's call letters are MCO and not, I mean, some places use ORL, but the legacy call letters is MCO. I'm like, it's Orlando. Why is it MCO? Yeah, McCoy Airfield. That's what it used to. That's what it used to be. So yeah, that's what they did. Tom, where can people find you, and what do you got going on?
I'm on your channel. You can find me modding all over, swinging us around. As I still got it, Erica. And I did a rocket launch live the other night. It was late.
Oh, nice.
Barry helped me. It was a gorgeous launch. Couple different things coming up. Hopefully, I'll be doing more of them. I need to pick out a gimbal, but yeah.
Oh, I can help you with that.
Because I was just basically shaky camming it, and when you're trying to zoom in, and unfortunately, I had to do vertical because you know what it's like trying to chase a rocket on that launch vector. Do horizontal without a gimbal. Oh hell no! No.
Well, it's funny having one of those gimbals like in the park. Most people think that they're just for live streaming. It's like, no, trust me, it takes the weight off your hands if you're doing photography anywhere. They are they're great to have. And I get asked in the park, they're like, where did you get that? I'm like, Amazon.
And the stability control on there is, I mean, you can get some really good, smooth, almost cinematic shots, you know, because when you do it with your hand can kind of shake your arm, and your arm gets tired.
And tilt, and I'm trying to follow, and it's straight, and I'm like,
yeah,
it's the only way, and you're trying to get it, and
Lorena will angle the camera in all these different ways to get cool angled shots. Yeah, it's you can do a lot more with a gimbal, and your videos look better.
Yeah, with being able to pan back and forth, up, side to side. You know, it's something else. I've had my gimbal for like 2 years. It's like the third one. The first one I had, I think, was when gimbals started to first come on the market, and then new ones came out, and then another new one came out. So
you know what hooked me in gimbal? Really? That day I hung out with Epic with Barry all day, and I had to hold his gimbal for a while. I'm sitting there playing with the controls, and I'm like, okay, am I going to end the stream if I press this? What am I doing here?
Yeah, it takes a while to kind of get to know how to navigate each gimbal. I've got a pretty simple DJI one of the more basic models, because for one, that's all I could find out here. It seems to be a popular international brand, apparently.
Yes.
So I just kind of went with that one, and it's like the low end. It's not the high end ones. I mean, it works fine for a newbie like me.
That's all you need, because the one that I got, it was pretty pretty low end. That one was like a general one. Then the DJI one, first one that I got, was like a lower end. It was mostly because it was perfect for the iPhone, which is why I went and got it, just to use it, to figure out how to use it, and it worked great. It is amazing the stuff that you can do, and you don't need a really expensive gimbal. You just need one that holds it really well. I mean, Five Below sells like a nice
and then the rest you do in your editor.
It's something else, let me tell you.
Talk to both you ladies about that.
All right. Well,
a video.
Do they have a baby gimbal for idiots? That's what I need.
I
The
feel like that's what
DJI
I
one is
got. It was like
perfect.
a baby. Yeah. The one I got was like $99 or euros. It's a real basic one, but it works great. The stability on it is good. I don't know the exact model. I don't even know where I put it. It's probably still in the
Uh,
car in the glove oh no, there it is. Hang on.
I forget I think I have a DJI 5. I had one
This
before. I
one.
think it was the 4. Yeah, that's the first one that I had. I had that one, and then they came out with another one. I think 2 years after that. It's a black one, the one that I have. I'm like, oh, this is great, so I
Yeah,
don't have to smudge my
I
makeup
saw
all
that one.
over it. And I got that one.
So
I
the
still
black
have
one
the
had
clip.
like bells and whistles to it.
Hmm.
But this one had longer battery life
Yes,
and it was
that's
cheaper.
true. That's
So
true.
I
I
went
still
with
I still have it.
the cheaper one.
I have I have that one as a backup because that one actually has the battery where you can charge things. So I have that one as my backup. The black one that I have, it's got a little bit better stability with the magnet, but I have like other stuff with it, and it's dark, so I like that one too. So yeah, it's perfect. It's got like the balancer software that's on it too. So
OM, I
that
don't know what
works.
that is.
Yeah, DJ Ohm, I think that's the 4. I have the
Yeah.
5, but the 4 is still my backup. I carry the 4 in my car just in case so I don't forget the other one. Hey Steel Leg, how you doing? How you doing? Black Myth Wukong. That's another game that's on my list. Yeah, I have tons of games like that. That's on my
Oh,
list. So
gee, speak of gaming, Christian brought home this like portable, it's not the Steam one by Steam, but it's a portable, you can play PC games on it portably.
the Steam Deck? It's not the
Steam Deck?
Steam Deck?
It's not the Steam Deck. It's like
Really?
it, but it's not. And this thing usually
Seuss
goes like
Seuss
down to
has
like
one.
600.
MSI
Huh?
has one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's
Okay.
like a
Yeah.
PS Portable, but it's not. Yeah, it's. I know it's like the Steam Deck. It's a little different.
Okay. I couldn't picture the name, but I knew I had seen it because I was like, oh, okay. So now there's competition
He's on
with the
Steam.
Steam
I don't
Deck.
know why he doesn't just get the Steam Deck. I'm like, dude, just get the Steam Deck. I don't know. Maybe this
Yeah,
one was cheaper.
there's
I'm
people
not seeing it, but
who want a Steam Deck.
They're kind of popular. Speaking of gaming, I have just launched my new gaming channel. So please do consider subbing to it. I'm going to be moving a lot of videos and live streams from gaming from this channel over to this channel, the gaming channel. So going forward, I will be doing all of my gaming on this channel because gaming on my main channel is screwing up the algorithm. It doesn't know
oh,
where to put me, and it's confusing. So confusing the YouTube. So going forward, all the theme park and media stuff is going to be on this channel, and all the gaming stuff is going to be over on the gaming channel. So I'm going to be playing. Let's see. Of course, I played Love and Deep Space. Going to be playing Stellar Blade. Eventually, we'll start playing stuff like Grand Theft Auto, the one with multiplayer. Expedition 33 as well. That's going to be coming, and Black Myth Wukong. That's on the pile because I've heard a lot about it, and it looks pretty good. So Phil says, should we suggest games to you, Lorena Creole? Yes, yes. Do suggest games to me. There's even a game called Just Die Already, where there's like old people fighting each other MMA style. Uh, I may wind up playing that because it's only $2. It looks hilarious, but all my gaming, yeah, is going to be over here. So make sure you're subscribed. Sometimes I may have streams scheduled. Sometimes I may just go live. Like I got accepted into a extended alpha test with some games. There's closed beta tests that I'm running into. So if I'm testing out stuff, I may just go live to test it out. especially Waifu Tactical Force, where it's was it eventually it'll be 4x4, but now it's a 2x2 shooter game where you're basically waifu shooting each other. It's pretty cool. Even the viewfinder, it looks like a heart. So taking people out.
Um,
It's
I
fun.
got the link there if they want to click on it and sub. I just subbed. I'm not into gaming, but I subbed.
You can just hang out because I do all kinds. Otome gaming. That's the other thing, like gotcha gaming. Infinity Nikki. You might see me drop in there, like, okay, get my stuff and go. So I do a gamut of games. I'm a girl gamer, so it's like I'll do, you know, games that are centered towards a more female audience, but at the same time, you see me playing your standard first person shooters, like Doom. I got to get back to Fallout. all of that stuff. So and maybe Mortal Kombat back in the
I'll
day.
play you with Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. You told me about Counter-Strike.
And
So there's
Tekken. Let's play some
that
Tekken.
one. Tech. Oh, I rage quit Tekken back.
Oh, come on.
That's the only game I rage quit was Tekken because it was so hard. It was
I
worse
was
than Street
so
Fighter.
good at that game.
It was
I won
worse.
competitions in arcades and stuff.
I was like, screw this game. I'm not playing it anymore. But yeah, lots of games coming up. So please do again subscribe to my gaming channel. Even when I'm gaming, I'll just like shoot the breeze about stuff. Like people ask me questions, what's going on, So that's so I go and do that. So yeah, please do subscribe. I will appreciate that so very much. Looking forward to the gaming material. As for today, let's see, in about an hour, I'm supposed to be over on Retro Nerd Girls channel because we are doing a watch party for the 36 Chambers of Shaolin. So we are doing a watch party for that movie at 4:00 over on her channel. And then over on my channel at 8 p.m. Eastern, we are doing a watch party for Treasure Planet. I haven't seen it. I've heard great stuff about it. It's one of those 90s gems that Disney animated. So it's basically a futuristic version of Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island, which I've read so many times. Muppet Treasure Island is based on it. So if you haven't seen Muppet Treasure Island,
steampunky.
And you need to, yes, very,
very steampunky. It's been years since I've seen it, but it was a pretty good movie.
I don't remember if I've seen it.
I like the steampunk aesthetic.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but lots of people have told me about it, how much they loved it. So yeah, so I'm gonna have a watch party for that this summer. I'm switching up action movies with those really, really cool Disney 90s animated films as well. So that's kind of like what's going on this summer. So can't wait. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. Let's see, Sunday, of course, Welcome to Florida show. Going to have that going on. Also Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, I believe the Blues Brothers movie won out as the watch party for channel members. So we're going to be watching the Blues Brothers. I will drop the Cosme link in a post on my used to be community tab, the post tab to watch it that way. So we are going to have a blast. Lots of great stuff coming up. No Resort Recon next Saturday because I'm going to be over at the Magic Kingdom all that weekend, documenting the destruction of Rivers of America. So yes, 4th of July stuff. I forgot 4th of July and Christmas and Halloween.
Yeah, we've got our Freedom Fest next week, which for the first time they're having it on the flight line this year. So it's kind of bittersweet because we're not allowed to we can't film on the flight line.
Yeah, I was going to say you can't.
So I'm like, it's going to be bigger and better, but you can't film on the flight line. Yeah.
Shoot. Yeah.
That's a no on all military installations.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's great, Steel Leg.
I'll see what I can do though. Maybe I'll just sneak.
All right. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Yeah, it's a lot of park stuff coming for me with the 4th of July, and I think I'm gonna be at 3 different parks over that whole weekend. So I'm gonna be really, really busy at the park. So make sure to join me, ask questions, all of that. Not happy about Rivers of America shutting down. We may be doing the get on the ship and stay and you will have to kick me off type of thing. But
Mm.
we
Oh, I might
will
buy a
see.
ticket for that.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
Get
funny.
trespassed for that.
But
It's like,
all
are you
Disney would
leaving?
do is just ban
Nope.
everybody,
Are you
round them up,
leaving?
arrest them, and ban them.
Yep. I know where to hide too. Not
Like I
hiding
know
in
where
plain sight. Hiding in plain sight where they're just like, hey, you're riding again. Most people don't. Oh shoot. All right. Now I just said I'm just like, I told you guys a trick. Not that it's a trick, but usually if you're on there, because they have to do, a head count. They're like, oh, are you staying on? I'm like, staying on, staying on. So, all right, folks, it's been amazing as always. Please do make sure you subscribe to all these amazing people on the panel. I so appreciate them being here. Appreciate you guys being here, and especially appreciate you guys watching this on the replay. So hashtag replay crew. Drop your questions in the chat, comment, especially when it comes to planning for the 4th of July, and also questions and experiences that you've had with Disney security during this point in time. So it's been great. Everyone take care. Much love. We'll see you next time. Bye.